Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How you, Jenny?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
What's
Hey,
the
Skip, how
problem?
you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
What you mean? Why you so?
Problem? I don't know. You're just doing weird stuff.
What am I doing? I spoke to Jenny. I can't speak to Jenny. I
you did.
speak to you.
Yeah.
You like, how you doing, Jenny?
Uh.
And stop bringing them papers on the desk.
You know what? I'll be just fine if just one time today we can talk about Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. Just one time, and I'll be happy. Is that possible?
We're going to start talking about him
Yeah.
early, but you
Oh,
ain't going to
really?
like what I got to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's
You ain't gonna-
just get to it.
We are going to
Yeah.
get to Tom Brady, but we're also going to talk about Bill Belichick. Is he a bit shady?
No.
Shady.
That's not my
He's doing
term.
something. And then
But
we
I
got
like it.
LeBron.
I like
We're going to
it.
see him back on the court anytime soon, hopefully this week. But let's start
Next
with the Super Bowl. There are a lot of big names down in Atlanta, and apparently the consensus is Aaron Donald is the best among them. Both CBS and Pro Football Focus ranked every player in the Super Bowl, and they both put Donald at the top of the list. Tom Brady can win his 6th championship on Sunday, and he was ranked 3rd by CBS and 2nd by Pro Football Focus. So, Shannon, do you agree Aaron Donald is the best player in the Super Bowl?
You know, yeah, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
What?
Aaron Donald is the most dominant player. There's no player in the NFL, regardless of position, that's more dominant at his position than Aaron Donald is at his. Tom Brady, look, see, you always want to, well, he did this and he has 5 Super Bowls. No, we're evaluating on him this year.
Yeah.
On this year.
Yeah, right here, right now.
So
Yeah.
Aaron Donald's going to get some votes for MVP. Tom Brady going to get some of that? I didn't think
Oh.
so. But anyway, Aaron Donald has 20 and a half sacks, the most sacks ever for a defensive tackle. He's 16 clear of the next closest guy on his team, despite constantly being double teamed. So not only did he lead the league in sacks, he led the league in tackle for losses, he led the league in quarterback hits. Constantly getting double teamed. Skip, he's the premier guy, and he's starting to get into that Joe Green. He's starting to get into that Warren Sapp. Generational players. Now, he had that phenomenal year last year, was Defensive Player of the Year. They extended him. And normally teams are leery. Well, is he going to work as hard now that he got his money? Aaron Donald said, y'all underpaid me. After what he did last year, this year, he said, y'all underpaid me. Showed you why they gave him the big long-term deal. Showed you why he's the best player in the game. In the NFC Championship game, he was double-teamed on 79% of the plays. If I get it, quarterback, as a guy that's citing a lot of offensive game plan, and we played against Reggie White and played against Bruce Smith, those are the guys, no matter what we're doing, whether we're running the ball or we're throwing it, where are they? When you set your offensive game plan, the one thing you must know, where is 99? Because if you don't account for him, you got no chance of getting your playoff. So they got it correctly. He's the most dominant. He's the best player. He's the best. I want to repeat. Look at me. He's the best player in all of football.
You finished? I'm still looking at you, but I'm not hearing much.
Go ahead.
Are you done?
Best player.
Is that all you got?
Best player. I got some more stuff. I want to hear what you got to say so I can just punch holes in your argument.
I got to tell you, this whole notion is asinine to me. It's asa 10, asa 11, asa 12, asa 99 to me.
Oh, now, you have some magic number.
It is ludicrous, and in the end, it's flat out silly what we are talking about right now, because quarterback clearly and obviously is the hardest position to play in all of sports.
No, Skip. No, that's not what.
And not only is Tom Brady the greatest to ever play this position. Nope, I'm getting to it right now. You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
Not only is he the greatest ever to play it, he has never been better than he was in 2 playoff games.
No. They didn't rate 2 playoff games. They rated the entire season. See, I knew you was going to do that.
Wait. I'm doing right now. I'm doing right here. You're trying to even look back at the season.
That's what they rated it. That's how they rated it.
Really?
Yes.
So, as the anchor of the Los Angeles Rams defense, the defense finished 20th in points allowed, and that's the best player in football? I don't get that. I'm sorry. I'm lost on that one.
Okay,
but I do know what I just saw Tom Brady do in 2 playoff games, especially in the second one at Arrowhead against all odds. Tom Brady and company went 13 of 19 on 3rd down to ludicrously control the football 44 minutes to only 21 for Kansas City and keep Patrick Mahomes mostly on the sideline, except for the 3 minutes he had the ball in the 4th quarter and scored 24 points. And Tom Brady still overcame that in overtime with 3 straight 3rd and 10 completions. I'm sorry. If you ask, if we did a poll of GMs right now, just right now going into this Super Bowl, which player do you want on your team?
That's not what the question was.
Yes, it is.
No,
which player is the best?
Hold on.
Who's the best player? Well, they would, if Aaron Donald's the best player, they would all just say, we'll take Aaron Donald.
Skip,
who would take Aaron Donald in this game?
That wasn't
They
the
would
question.
all take Tom Brady. It's laughable.
That's not the question.
Sorry.
The
What
best.
do you mean?
Who was the best?
Who is the best?
Who is the best?
Is, not was. We're not doing past
Is.
performance. We're doing right now. Who do you want on your side on Super Bowl Sunday? I'm taking Tom Brady. I'll give you Aaron Donald. I'll give you Donald Aaron. You can have Donald Aaron, too.
They graded every player 16 games and the playoffs. And they said the best player.
Okay, all right.
All you did was take those 2 games. Okay, let's take Tennessee. Skip.
No, wait, I'm going. I think it's my turn.
Well, go ahead.
'Cause I haven't even gotten started here because in the 2 playoff games I've watched the Rams play, Aaron Donald has a grand total of 0 sacks. Wow, 0.
How many tackle for losses?
If not for the worst blown call in sports history, Aaron Donald's team would not be in this game right now.
But they are. We can't do it if they have not.
All right,
but
I'm
they
just
are.
trying to put this in some perspective for you.
Okay, if Kansas City, if D4 is not offside, New England's not in this game. So if we're going to do hypotheticals.
So if I go back to the last time the Patriots were stopped short of the Super Bowl, I got to go all the way back to that game in Denver. Remember that game? The AFC Championship game? Now, let me just tell you what I'm doing here. Because that game, Von Miller was dominating. That game, Von Miller leaped off my TV screen because they couldn't block Von Miller. They couldn't keep him off Tom Brady.
They couldn't block DeMarcus Ware. Okay. They couldn't block
But
Malik or Wolf.
it was mostly Von Miller, and they tried everything. They tried chipping. He was playing at the highest level I think I've ever seen a pass rusher, an edge rusher play at. And my point is, it's so much easier for the edge rusher to get to the quarterback because it's hard for the defensive tackle. You can anchor. You can anchor. Okay, so the point is, I'll take Von Miller at that stage and that age and the havoc he wreaked that day. He had 2.5 sacks and he intercepted Tom Brady.
Yes.
Well, that's outrageous because that's why he was the biggest reason why Denver held off Tom Brady 20-18 in that game, right? So if you want to give me that guy and that kind of argument, that day Von Miller was better than Tom Brady.
Skip, here's the thing. You look at what Von did, but he also had a guy on the other side that had double-digit sacks. He had 2 guys in the middle.
To my eye right now, the dominating defensive lineman for the Rams is Sue. Every time I look up, Sue is free.
Let me ask you a question. Who's getting double teamed?
Well, okay, obviously, but if he's that guy, you should be able to beat double teams. I saw Reggie White just dominate double teams. I saw Randy White dominate double teams. I don't know if you remember the Manster, but they couldn't block him. 2 people could not block Randy White. So Mean Joe Green in his heyday, he was unblockable by 2. This
Hold
guy,
on, hold on.
okay,
Can I refute you?
I'm just going.
But
I thought it was my turn. I gave you the floor first. Did he go first?
But Skip, the objective is that I take the floor, then you take the floor, then
well,
give it back. Not you hold it the whole time.
Wait a minute. I need to talk about the 2 games I've seen recently.
Exactly. All you're doing is 2 games.
No, I'm doing 2 games against Dallas. Against my Cowboys this year in the playoffs, he had 0 sacks and he had 2 tackles. And I just don't remember, except for the one play in which Jason Garrett somehow stupidly said, let's hand it to Zeke right into Aaron Donald and Sue, and he went nowhere fast. And then last year at Jerry World, I watched the whole game, and I barely noticed Aaron Donald, because I don't know, he had 2 tackles and no sacks in that game, and my team had 24-16 at halftime, but couldn't hold on and lost 35-30 in a shootout in the second half. And I'm saying, if he's the best player on the field, wouldn't I notice him? And I didn't notice it. But then I read last night, the Madden simulation has the Rams winning this game 30-27 because it says that Aaron Donald is going to have 4 sacks in this game. 4 sacks. Wow. Well, if he does that, then you might have a case, because that would wreak havoc on Tom Brady. But are you willing to put some dew on that? Would you like to do 4 sacks? I'll tell you what. I'll bet 5 cases of Diet Dew right now that Aaron Donald doesn't have 4 sacks.
Hold on, Skip.
Would you like to do that?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But you can't see what you like to do is that you want to highlight Tom Brady's greatest 2 games.
Well, they were the 2 games.
No, but that's not what they did.
They're the build-up games to this game.
No.
They're the money games.
So when was the last time? So in other words, you're saying you want Pro Football Focus to just do the last 2 games and not the season.
I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't get it. I'm taking them on as well as you. I don't get it.
Now you don't like Pro Football Focus. When all these general managers, all these former coaches, and all they do is sit around and watch more tape than Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless.
I'm just saying, I disagree with this takeaway.
Oh, you disagree now.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other times,
I just gave you all the reasons why, and I'm only halfway through my argument. If you want me to keep going.
No, I don't want you to keep going. Skip Bayless, if you look at what he's doing, think about it. He had 20.5 sacks. And Ndamukong Suh had 4.5. That's 16 clear. You talk about Randy White. You know why they couldn't double team Randy White? Because he had Ed Too Tall Jones and Harvey Martin. You do remember
sometimes it can happen like that.
When Reggie was in Philly, you know what he had?
I know exactly what he had.
He had Jay Boogie. He had Clyde Simmons. He had Seth Joyner, Byron Evans. Those guys.
Plus he had Buddy Ryan.
Yes.
Yep.
So Skip, all I'm saying is this: when you evaluate every game and you grade every game, if you can come away with the conclusion, Tom Brady was not the best quarterback in football this year. Is there any question about that?
No, he had the highest degree of difficulty to get his team.
We're not doing Skip.
You know what? I told you all year. I thought he deserved MVP for what he pulled off. This is his greatest achievement.
The degree of difficulty.
He got a team here that didn't deserve to be here in any way, shape, or form.
That's not what Vegas said. Vegas said they were the favorite to win Super Bowl 53.
Well,
that's what Vegas said in August.
Then after 2 weeks, what did Vegas say?
No.
After 3 weeks, after 4 weeks, they started to plummet down the list.
Okay.
And by midseason, they were a long shot.
And we're going to do this. And we're going to do this early. We're going to do this late in the show.
Okay.
The Rams opened up as favorites. And then what happened? Okay, then. Things happened. Now, back to the original scheduled program, Skip Bayless. I see what you try to do. You always try to do this. You want to nitpick. Skip, if you don't mind me asking.
Nitpick?
Yes, you do. When Tom Brady threw for 121 yards and 2 interceptions against Buffalo, did you think he was the best player in the NFL then? Or what about when he threw for the 130 against Detroit and they lost? They scored 10 points.
Who should have been the 1 seed in the AFC? Who should have been?
No.
No, seriously.
You're changing the argument.
I'm not changing the argument. I'm just telling you it's your totality of your work this year. Tom Brady played well enough to get a mediocre team to the 1 seed. That's outrageously good, and he doesn't get the credit for it. How do you do that? He had his best game at Miami, and they blow it with the Miami Miracle.
And he had his worst game against Detroit, against Tennessee,
okay,
and they blow it.
Well, everybody. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was pathetic all year.
Not Aaron Rodgers.
Wait a second. Should Aaron Rodgers retire now?
This is Aaron Donald. This has nothing to do with Rodgers. This has nothing to do with my homeboy.
Well, sometimes it's Donald Aaron.
No.
I don't know.
Call it what you want to. But he's about to be, guess what he's about to be, Skip Bayless? 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
And he's probably going to win this one unanimously.
Okay. Is he going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl? If he is, you got a case.
That's not what Skip.
You might have a case of due.
Skip. Yeah. That's not what they said. They didn't say anything about MVP. All they said, the best player in this game, over all the game footage that we've evaluated, is Aaron Donald. Now, you want to change the argument. The quarterback plays the hardest position. He's the most important player. Tom Brady had the highest degree of difficulty. He had a coach who doesn't believe in him. That's not what they're doing.
You know what you should do? I recommend to everybody to go watch the detail featuring Peyton Manning analyzing Tom Brady's game at Arrowhead, because it gives you chills. You like X's and O's. I love X's and O's, and I was mesmerized by Peyton's breakdown of what Brady kept pulling off, the audible calls, the decision-making, to seeing right through every disguise. He breaks it down.
What
you ought
disguise?
to go watch it. You ought to go watch it. There's lots of attempts at disguises.
All they did was flip the formation on two of the most important plays.
They tried robbers. They tried lots of things. And Brady saw right through it, and his decision-making, the audibles were just spectacular, what he would do. Because every time he would audible, he would just gash them with the correct play.
Did you see?
And the deadly accuracy on the clutch down throws is just spellbinding to watch it in slow motion and let Peyton break it down for you. This was artistry. This was, to use your word last Monday, virtuoso.
Yes.
These were two masterpieces.
Kind of like
Aaron Donald can't do that at his position because his position doesn't really have artistry to it.
Did you see that Monday night game against Kansas City?
Yeah.
Was that a virtuoso by Aaron Donald?
Yeah. Who won that game?
The Rams.
Okay. So
Was that a virtuoso?
Tom Brady beat the Chiefs twice. Beat them twice.
Hold on. Did the Rams beat them? Did the Rams beat Kansas City? Was Aaron Donald, was that a virtuoso on Monday night? It's a simple no or simple yes, Skip, baby.
It was a great performance. I'll give you that.
I only hear virtuoso.
There's no virtuoso to playing defensive tackle.
What?
How much thought goes into playing defensive tackle?
Oh,
Seriously. How much of the mental operates there? Not a lot.
Yes, it does.
A little bit.
You got to get on. You got to set the guy up. You got to get on the edges. You got to do a lot of different things.
It compares favorably to quarterback.
See that? Not everything's compared to.
Stop. Stop it. We're talking about a quarterback and a defensive tackle. If you gave me an edge rusher, I might say.
So hold on. So under your theory, Blake Bortles and any quarterback in the NFL is better than Aaron Donald since they play the quarterback position, and it's the hardest position to play, and it's the most valuable. So every quarterback is more important than Aaron Donald.
Every quarterback in this game is more important. Jared Goff is more important than Aaron Donald. You know it, and I know it.
They didn't say important. They said best. The best player.
Who is the best player? What if we ask every GM right now, who's the best player in the Super Bowl? They would all say Tom Brady.
Aaron Donald.
They would all take Tom Brady because they'd be afraid not to take him.
No. It's not about taking. They said who is the best player.
So let's think about the Patriots. They had a grand total of 2 Pro Bowlers this year, and one of them was fraudulent, says Shannon Sharpe, because Shannon Sharpe said that Andrew Luck should have replaced Tom Brady on the AFC
I didn't
Pro
lie.
Bowl. Okay, so we'll cancel that one then. So they had 1 Pro Bowler and none on offense.
Yeah.
That's none, and they got to this game. I don't know how. And Tom Brady used to have Brandon Cooks, but now he's a Ram because his coach traded him to the Rams. But their receiver who caught the most balls, most targets, most yards, tied for the most touchdowns, Robert Woods. Although Brandon Cooks in the NFC Championship game caught 7 balls and 7 targets for 104 yards. So there are 2 receivers right now better than any receiver that Tom Brady has. And we got broken down.
And Aaron Donald's better than all of them.
Okay, so I'll give you that. But now we got Gronk broken down. He had 47 catches this year. The tight ends for the Rams, they had 57 catches. So that's advantage Rams, right?
Tight ends.
Yeah,
plural.
tight ends. Okay, but they're both better. Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee, they're better. Combination better. I'll take them over Gronk any day.
Oh, no,
Gronk had a couple of big catches just because Brady said, I'm going to do this for you. You're going out with a bang.
Who's
going out with a bang.
So even though that catch up on the side on the rail that was underthrown, that Gronk made a hell of a play on in front of Eric Berry.
But what a decision that was. Woo! Woo!
You see what you did, Skip?
What a decision that was.
It was a great decision.
So who has the best running backs this game? Would you rather have Todd Gurley and the hottest C.J. Anderson or Sony Michel and Burke?
Whoa! I'm glad you mentioned.
Yeah.
Who had a top 5 running game, Skip?
Top 5?
Yeah.
Well, they do. They got a good offensive line.
Oh, y'all took. Oh, the Patriots do. Who's been sacked? How many times has Tom Brady in the playoffs?
They throw to run. They've always thrown to run.
I don't know what they do or why they do it. Can you tell me who was the third least sacked quarterback in all of football?
I can tell you this. Tom Brady got rid of the ball in the 2 playoff games, an average of 2.1 seconds.
Yep.
It's unheard of. No one's ever been able to get rid of the ball this quickly and this deadly accurately as he did in those 2 playoff games.
When was the last time somebody ran the ball like the New England Patriots are running the ball in these 2 playoff games?
Guess who wears out the defensive line? Tom Brady he wore out 2 of them.
What you're trying to do, all this is about Tom Brady. The offensive line, you have yet to give the offensive line any credit.
I give
you have
credit.
No, you didn't. You say Tom Brady wore out the offensive line. You say they throw the run. Sonny Michel and Burkhead and James White have yet to receive any credit. It's all Tom Brady. But when they lost to Tennessee, when they lost to Jacksonville, when they lost to Detroit, they lost to Miami, all I heard you say was Bill Belichick and the defense. Why is that?
Because in the end, Tom Brady had to rise above a below-average defense, and I'm being nice about that, with a lack of weapons that you said all year you didn't know how he was pulling it off because you have little to no respect for any of his weapons.
I'm not debating whether Tom Brady is good or not because he's great. He's transcendent. He's a virtuoso performer in the biggest of moments. But that wasn't the question. Jenny asked, is Aaron Donald the best player in the Super Bowl? And I said unequivocally.
And a big answer is no.
And I unequivocally said absolutely. And it's not close.
Not close?
Not close.
Well, how can you back that up?
Easy.
Like, I watched the whole game. Believe it or not, I watched Dallas play at the Rams, and I just barely remember Aaron Donald playing in that game. He had no sacks and two tackles. Think about this. Wait. Was he the reason that the Rams beat the Cowboys, knocked them out of the playoffs? No. The reason was they ran for 170 yards in the first half and 273 total.
Oh, you didn't say nothing. Hold on. No. But you didn't say anything about Sonny Michel and James White running the ball like they ran the ball in the playoffs. All you've talked about was Tom Brady. So what does that running game have to do with anything?
13 of 19 on third down, 9 times throwing the ball.
How
do you do that?
What about those 100 yards rushing? Sonny Michel.
They always have that. Yeah, they
always get 100 yards rushing.
They throw to run.
No. They run to run. Sonny Michel had 100 yards rushing, not 100 yards rushing and receiving. He ran the ball.
You ought to go watch Peyton's breakdown. You would learn something.
Well, I want to hear Warren Sapp's breakdown of Aaron Donald. That's what I want to hear.
That's what I want to hear. I really don't.
Yeah, I want to hear Warren Sapp
break
down.
Yeah,
you do. I want to hear Sapp break down Aaron Donald. A great defensive tackle breaking out another great defensive tackle.
Yeah, you'd get a lot of.
Good TV.
He's really good. He's really good.
No.
Look, he's really good.
No, he goes set it up and how he plays on the edges. Now watch this move. Watch the head. Watch the chop. Rip to the quarterback. That's what you're going to get. I get Peyton Manning. He's looking at this. He's going to Omaha. Now they're trying to disguise it. It looks like it's going to be single high safety.
But you're having to do it against the noise too. It's all silent signals. How do you do that?
Skip.
It's virtuoso, said Shannon Sharpe.
You know
and
how
it was.
You know what? I played a lot of games in Kansas City, and I don't know if you noticed that because, I played the bulk of my career in the AFC West, and a division opponent of ours were the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, when we went into that game, we tried to take the crowd notes, but we knew it was going to get loud. They had very good teams. We knew what the audibles were. So guess what? When they come out here and John audible, I wonder what John is audibling to. Oh, the play that we practiced all week long. Ta-da!
Okay.
So stop trying to make it more difficult than what it is, Skip Bayless.
It was really difficult. You ought to go watch this. It's very
Skip, I don't need to watch it.
But the beauty of it is that every time he audibled, it gashed them. And you just said, oh, that was brilliant.
That's the whole
brilliant.
That's the whole purpose of audibling. To get out of a good play to a better play, a good play to a great play.
I've seen Dak Prescott go from good to bad.
Oh, that guy Dak Prescott, thank you. I'm glad you said that. And you wonder why I gave him an F 2 years ago. You shouldn't wonder. You just said it.
Well,
he audible out of a good play to a bad play.
You shouldn't wonder why Tom Brady is far and away the best player in the Super Bowl.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
What happened in the last Super Bowl? He threw for 505
yards. And took the L.
And just the fact that he's played in more Super Bowls than the entire Rams roster combined.
Yes. And all that's
hard
true.
to argue against that guy.
But he ain't the best.
Kind of with Skip on this one, Shannon. You're out of luck. Should the Lakers give up everything for Anthony Davis? We'll discuss all that next.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here, and thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. If you're looking for more Super Bowl Sunday fun, well, here's your answer. During the game, come hang out with us at the Fox Sports Super Bowl party. From in-depth analysis to hilarious bet payoffs, this is sure to be the craziest Super Bowl event you've ever seen. Join in on the fun with Mark Schlereth, Dean Blandino, TJ Hushmanzada, and Jason McIntyre on the Fox Sports Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages or foxsports.com starting at 6:15 p.m. Eastern.
No mercy.
The Pelicans confirmed yesterday that Anthony Davis will not sign an extension and has asked for a trade. The Lakers have become the top rumored spot, but it's going to take a lot to get AD to join LeBron. The LA Times reports trade talks have to start with a package that includes Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Ivica Zubac, and a first-round pick. So, Shannon, if you're the Pelicans, would you take that offer?
No. The Pelicans really don't have any incentive to do this deal, especially now, because guess what? This same deal will be there for the Lakers. I mean, if they want to do this deal with the Lakers, it'll be there in July. For me, Skip, is that the Pelicans owe it to themselves to look around and see if there's a better offer on the table. I don't know if there's a better offer. I don't know who's all interested in Anthony Davis because one of the risks. See, and not to get too far off track, Skip, I believe Toronto will regret giving up what they gave up to get Kawhi, because I don't believe Kawhi is going to stay. And this is the risk that you run if you give up assets and draft and future assets for Anthony Davis, because you're hoping that a very similar situation happens to you what happened to OKC. They traded for Paul George. We know he wanted to go to L.A., but he got there after a year being there playing alongside Russ. The fans embraced him. Russ embraced him, was willing to share the stardom in OKC with him, and he said, man, I love it. I'm not going to L.A. I'm going to stay right here. You're hoping that happens with Anthony Davis if he gets to wherever he's going. Boston have tremendous assets. Boston understand. They know this, Skip. Any deal for Anthony Davis is going to require Jason Tatum. So if you think you're going to be able to throw, we'll give you Rozier and we'll give you this draft pick and we'll give you Jaylen Brown, no. There's not a deal that's not going to start with Jason Tatum if you're coming from the Celtics. I just don't think, Skip, they have the assets right now. Because what is it? I mean, you hear it, okay, it's going to start with Kuzma and Zubac and maybe Lonzo. Okay. For me, I got a store, Skip. And you know, get as much as you want in the time frame you need. I open up the doors, take whatever you need. Other than LeBron James, you can have it all. If you want Ingram, you want Kuzma, you want Josh Hart, you want Lonzo, you want Zubac. Man, of all the guys that's mentioned, the one guy that I really hate to see go is Zubac. But if you, Skip, sometimes you got to let the hair go with the hide. And if this is what it's going to take to close the deal, I'm sorry, Zubac. We really enjoyed you. We think you're going to be a nice young center in this league. But you got to go. I just don't know. I just don't see the incentive. Skip, if you leave me, what incentives do I have to do right by you? Now, some people say, well, you know, cooler heads, they've been friends, and he's going to do right by this person. But, you know, emotions are involved. And it's reported that the Pelicans tried to steer Anthony Davis away from Rich Paul because they know what this was going to entail. Because, Skip, when it came down to it, Anthony Davis is a supermax player. He really doesn't need an agent. Anthony Davis is going to get the max, 5 years, $240 million, if he had stayed in New Orleans.
Sure.
So does he need an agent for that? What are they going to say? I don't know, Anthony. We might give you 10% less than the max. He's getting the max. He signed with Rich Paul for one reason, to get him out of New Orleans and to get him where he wanted to be.
Yep.
Now, I believe, you believe, and everybody else believes that's L.A. And the one guy that can make that happen. Now, they have a little bit, the Lakers, Anthony Davis and Rich Paul have a little bit more leverage because Rich Paul going to say, look here, you can get him for a year rental, but he's going to end up in L.A. Now, you going to give up all those assets because Toronto going to kick themselves in the butt if Kawhi doesn't stay there. Because you gave up an awful lot to get a guy for 1 year. And I believe he's going to L.A. Now, be it Clippers, Lakers, but I believe he's not going to re-sign with Toronto. You're going to have to give up way more to get Anthony Davis, Skip. And for him not to re-sign, but I just don't believe the Lakers have the pieces right now. They have the pieces because if they do the deal in July, they could have done it in February. I just don't believe they're going to be willing to acquiesce to what Anthony Davis wants.
Who's the ultimate power broker?
Richie.
In the NBA.
Rich Paul right now.
No.
LeBron.
Well, yeah, go one step higher. Then.
No. It ain't no one step higher.
Yeah.
It's LeBron, then Rich Paul, CEO of Clutch Sports.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. So Rich Paul has more power in the NBA than LeBron James?
No. I'm saying, no. LeBron. LeBron.
He's the ultimate power broker, right?
Yeah.
In Adam Silver's heart of hearts, what would he like to see happen?
Anthony
What would
Davis go to LA?
Thank you. Right?
Yeah.
So he's going to be more prone to massage this toward the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
And this is just me. Now, I'm a Lonzo Ball fan. You know that. I have been from the start, pre-draft.
True.
Some things I don't like and a lot I love and that I still love about him. And he's going to become a star. And I would like to see him get out from under Luke Walton. I think all these kids would like to be out from under Luke Walton, even though we have seen flashes of brilliance from all the young Lakers. And they're all baby Lakers still. Don't forget that. They haven't, none of these have become men before your very eyes.
But Skip, let's be real.
Yep.
You and I both know, had Lonzo Ball gone to the Pelican or Kuzma Ingram gone to Milwaukee, the Pelican, we're not talking about them like we talk about them with the Lakers.
I don't know. I just go back. I ask anybody to pull the tape of the January 17th game at Oklahoma City and tell me what you saw that night in Oklahoma City. Followed up by another big night at Houston, but Lonzo turned his ankle. But that night in Oklahoma City, that wasn't too long ago, January 17th, I watched Kyle Kuzma go for 32 and 8 rebounds and 4 assists and 3 steals. I watched Lonzo Ball go for 18 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds, and he can be one of the best rebounders on the team, as you know. I watched your man Zubats go 26 and 12 that night, and I watched Brandon Ingram have a lousy shooting night. I think he was 1 for 9, but he had 11 assists that night. So we saw lots of flashes of brilliance against an Oklahoma City team playing at a pretty high level at that point.
But Skip, the problem is, if we had seen more of that, they would not be interested in Anthony Davis.
They're just babies. They're babies.
Well, LeBron James grown.
Then what happened at Houston? They should have closed the deal. Kuzma, P.J. Tucker got up into him and took him out of his game. Lonzo was gone in the fourth quarter because he turned his ankle. But remember, in that game, Lonzo had 11 assists in just 22 minutes. So we saw all kinds of flashes of brilliance. So to me, if I'm New Orleans, I look at this haul, and if you let me walk into your store and pick anything I want, I'm not, again, the salary cap boggles my mind, so it's hard to fit all this in because you might have to take an expiring contract to make all this work. The KCP deal, which is compliments of Rich Paul, right?
Yeah.
So they could even throw that in if they wanted to manipulate that. I'm not sure KCP would love that, but the point is, if they wind up with Lonzo and Kuzma and Ingram, I would love that. They probably need a big, so you love your man Zubac. So if you throw him in too, I don't know if that works, but if you put him in place of Brandon Ingram, let's just say, that's enough to me to make New Orleans a really good basketball team on the rise.
And you have to give the first round pick.
Yeah, in the first round, for sure. And I don't know how good, it doesn't seem like it's going to be great, but it could be pretty good.
Well, it's going to be the Lakers, so they're going to finish, they're going to make the playoffs, so it's going to be in the 20s.
All right, okay, so it's okay. Then you still have an all-star in Drew Holiday, and you still have that big old beast down low from the Lakers, Julius Randle. And I love Mirotic. He's just a player. He just knows how to play, and he's hard-nosed, and he
Hopefully
can shoot
he can stay
it.
healthy.
I know. I got it.
Nick.
Elfrid Payton is there. Ejuan Moore is still there. You could still mix and match. You have a basketball team. You have a team that could rise into contention in the West because as they start to grow up and get their man bodies, I would like that. So to me, the reason I believe sort of 60-40 that it will get done before the trade deadline, it just feels like the skids are greased somehow. And I can't explain it.
Why am I going to give you what you want?
Huh?
Why am I going to give you what you want? Why would I do that? Why would I give you what you want?
Who wants?
Anthony Davis.
Okay.
He wants to go to LA right now. Why would I do that?
You might love you might love what's in the store.
I love
you might
Anthony
say,
Davis
I can
more.
get Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma, and maybe if I want Brandon Ingram, maybe I could get all 3 of them.
But here's the thing. What if Anthony Davis said, ooh, that index finger, that thing a little sore.
Okay, well, he will. We'll see what the point you're missing to me. If New Orleans says, let's just play it out. Let's see once Boston is eligible to trade, let's see what they offer. Well, again, what if Rich Paul says, we just don't want to play in Boston? Okay? And we've seen in the new NBA, we've seen number 2 in San Antonio just say, I don't feel like playing here anymore, right? So what if he shuts it down? What if he just says, I just don't want to do that?
And the thing is that you're assuming, Boston is assuming, and there's reports that they're concerned that Kyrie might not re-sign with them. Anthony Davis is not going to Boston. He's not going to even reluctantly go to Boston if there's no Kyrie.
Okay.
Because Anthony Davis and Jason Tatum is not winning a title.
I've just seen in today's NBA that when a superstar wants something, the superstar tends to get it.
Oh, in basketball, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's the new NBA.
Yes,
it didn't used to be that
yes,
way.
No.
But now they get what they want, and especially if you have LeBron and Rich Paul behind you.
And who was the first one to get what he want? Who made it cool? Who made it in vogue? Who made it fashion nova?
Oh, take my talents to South.
Yeah. Who made it Givenchy?
Really?
He's the Hermes
Really?
of NBA players, Skip. He made it cool.
Because he needed help.
No, there you go. See, you
right? Well, he needed help.
You rule every
He
conversation.
needed somebody to teach him how to win championships.
Yeah, we're having a great conversation.
He did. Well, he did. Dwayne Wade saved him.
I mean, I like the way you were attentive. I mean, you sit up, you
I
listen
was.
to what I had to say.
I led you right into the trap.
I was courteous. You were receptive to courtesy. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, he needed help. Yeah, exactly.
Boom, I got you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But it's true. He did. He showed everybody how to play the game off the court, right?
Yeah.
And
even whatever you want. If you want to do something.
And what did LeBron keep doing? 1 year contracts, and all of a sudden, boom, he's in LA.
Either I do 3 plus an option.
And again, he gets jilted by George Paul, you know.
I thought you was gonna call him.
Well, I'm doing it from LeBron's eyes. From LeBron's
so LeBron
eyes.
called him George Paul.
Yeah, like I don't need that guy,
Sometimes I
right?
think about it.
And then Jimmy Butler, and then we hear number 2 doesn't really want to go to LA and play with LeBron. And finally he says, I got this kid who just idolizes me, and he's got big game, but he needs help.
And he's gonna wear 23.5.
Oh, 23. They're both gonna wear 23.5?
Yeah, that's what AD gonna wear, 23.5.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, I like that.
New look.
That would be cool. I will endorse that.
Yeah.
Okay. Way
But
to go.
you need to stop, Skip, baby.
Okay, but again, it's so perfect because Anthony needs LeBron. I told you more than LeBron needs Anthony. Anthony is not a takeover guy.
The man says, I don't care about money. So clearly, I mean, he's gonna go down from 240 to 2. If this deal happens, Skip, the Lakers, all they can offer him is 5 years for 205.
Yeah.
5 years for 205, as opposed to the 5 for 240.
Yep.
He doesn't want to be in New Orleans.
He does not, even though it's so much more expensive to live in L.A., and I can attest to that because it costs a lot.
Yeah, who you telling?
I'm telling you.
Wait a second.
Oh, got me over here eating ketchup with a knit needle.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you had for dinner last
That's what I have, tuna and crackers.
You have tuna?
Tuna and cracker right out of the can. That's what I've been eating. Yep.
Just like
You're
save it
paying
up.
that like $25,000 a month for rent, right?
Yeah. You know that.
Too much
I know how that
Givenchy.
goes.
Oh, you and LeBron.
Well, Bron. You know, Bron over there.
Expensive taste.
Bron up a little high. His area code a little different. I mean, zip code a little different than mine.
No, a little bit. Just one over from me.
Yeah, he went over me.
So close.
But that's the thing, Skip. When someone doesn't want to be there, nothing you can say, nothing you can do can make them stay. It's as simple as that, Skip. When someone wants out,
I got it.
You're right.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you promise.
I got it. And when you got LeBron James whispering in your ear,
He ain't say nothing.
Yeah, he has.
We're friends.
Oh, yeah, that's
he was exactly. We don't tamper. They made it abundantly clear. So now LeBron James can't even say, "Oh, such and such had a good game." Oh, that's tampering. You heard what LeBron said. He said he had a good game. That means LeBron want to play with him. Now, New Orleans has asked the NBA to enforce tampering rules. The NBA says they've opened up an investigation. What?
So your gut feeling is this will not get done before the deadline?
No, I hope I'm wrong.
My gut feeling is it will get done.
We got 9 days. It's going to get interesting.
Will you be happy finally?
What?
Yeah?
Skip, don't let this happen. Don't let this happen. It's been a while since Unc showed his head, but ain't no telling. Ain't no telling.
We missed that guy.
Hey,
You know what,
Unc?
Unc? You better be careful what you wish for.
Man.
No mercy.
Bill Belichick is getting ready for his 9th Super Bowl as Patriots head coach. Well, Sean McVay will be in his first with the Rams, but who knew they were texting buddies? McVay said they started talking at last year's NFL Combine, and Belichick texted him after every Rams game this season. He added, Belichick texted, quote, "Man, you guys are really explosive and impressive and fun to watch. Congrats. Keep it rolling." It's the nicest thing I've heard from him. All right, Shannon, is this a big deal or no big deal?
No big deal. None. See,
None big deal?
None big deal.
None big deal.
Okay.
Skip, you know what? I need you and this old guard, be it NFL players, NBA players especially, oh, they wouldn't have done this. You think Magic Johnson would have texted Larry Bird? Do you think Larry Bird would have joined Michael Jordan? Stop it. That was the way they thought. That was the way they did things back then. And I know you. Do you think Lombardi would have texted Landry? Do you think Landry would have texted Shula and said, good job? No, they wouldn't. But that's how they did business back then.
And Bill Belichick's new school.
You know,
he's part of the new NFL,
he evolving.
Right?
Coach Belichick understands. Yeah, it's called evolution.
Getting younger by the day.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing, Skip. Evolution is a great thing.
Yeah.
And he understands that because in this new generation, and it goes to show you, he liked these young guys. I tell you who he didn't text when they went away. Josh McDaniels. I bet he didn't text him when he went to Denver, Skip. But, you know, he got a great relationship with Kyle Shanahan.
He does.
Now we're finding out he has a great relationship with Sean McVay. Woo, I ain't got no problem with it, Skip. Y'all make it seem like he was talking X's and O's. Here's the time he probably going to see the guy, what? See him in the Super Bowl. I think he saw him last year, maybe 2 years ago. Last year. He's going to see him once every 3 years unless they go to the Super Bowl. I got no problem with this. Coach Belichick's like, man, good job, man. Y'all looking good over there. Y'all explosive. Keep it going. Offering the young guys some encouragement. I don't think enough old guys do that to the young players, offer encouragement.
Interesting.
Tell them to keep their heads up.
Really? You done?
Yep.
Thank you. I am here to say once again, on the eve of yet another Super Bowl, I do not trust Bill Belichick.
Oh, my goodness, Skip Bayless!
Did I not tell you this last year? Did I not tell you this all this year? I'm going to say it again. Bill Belichick, as was proven by Spygate, has some scoundrel in him. You have to agree with that, does he not?
Yes.
Bill Belichick is obviously a second and third level thinker, so let's go second and third levels here with what's exactly going on. What happened a year and now about a half ago? Bill Belichick got ordered to trade his guy, Jimmy G. And what did he do when he got his wrist slapped and ordered to trade Jimmy G? He called Kyle Shanahan, another one of his proteges, the youngsters that he loves. He called him and John Lynch and said, hey, have I got a deal for you? I'm going to give you Jimmy G for a second rounder. Would you do that? Yep. And John Lynch was quoted as saying, yeah, we couldn't do it fast enough. We couldn't run back to the phone fast enough to say, yes, we will do that. Right. So he gave away an asset that he had carefully groomed up to a point that he was ready, in Belichick's eyes, to be the next Tom Brady, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he should have at least gotten a first, and I thought that was a little sabotagey. So then we come full circle back to last year's Super Bowl. What happened in that game? Well, a guy who had played the most defensive snaps the whole football season, the regular season, Malcolm Butler, played exactly 0 snaps in the Super Bowl. Inexplicably, mysteriously, suspiciously, 0 snaps. I still haven't heard an explanation for it.
And he ain't going to get one. You're not going to get one either.
Okay, and yet Bill Belichick somehow got away with that. He somehow got a pass for it because he's the genius Belichick. He's unquestionable.
I'm sure he's had this conversation with the only person that would require an explanation.
He would.
And I'm sure.
Wonder what he told him.
Whatever it is.
Did it work?
Mr. Kraft felt very comfortable.
Did it fly? Did it float?
He ain't fired.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You do know why.
So Malcolm Butler posted the next day after this game, during Super Bowl week, I never attended any concert, missed curfew, or participated in any of the ridiculous activities being reported. They are not only false, but hurtful to me and my family. And Tom Brady liked that IG post, just for the record. And I thought that was very telling that Tom Brady was not happy with Coach Belichick because he was happy with his
He should have liked Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler saved his legacy. That pick in the end zone saved his legacy.
That's a whole nother conversation. But now we fast forward to this year. And all of a sudden,
what?
He's texting with Sean McVay, who clearly had the NFC odds-on favorite to meet the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Am I right about that? Because they had loaded up in the offseason. Isn't it interesting that all of a sudden he strikes up a new relationship with that coach of that up-and-coming team?
Oh, so now Did this slip your attention? So now that explains why he traded Brandon Cooks
Oh.
to the Rams.
I was just going to say that. Way to go, Shannon. You've got a second-level mind.
You know what, Skip Bayless? You ought to be
He traded him to the Rams. Yeah. So Tom Brady doesn't have his one deep threat this year is gone to Sean McVay. And who could use him the most? Sean McVay. And what happened in the NFC Championship game? Jared Goff, and he's the puppet of Sean McVay, obviously. He does everything that Sean tells him to in his ear. He threw 7 balls to Brandon Cooks, who caught 7 balls for 104 yards. So that really got them
That's
to
not
the
fair,
Super
Skip
Bowl.
Bayless. I can't believe you said that. Talk about Jared Goff as a puppet.
Well, he is. He does. He listen, Sean McVay is in his ear all the way to the snap.
No, it's 15
Look at
seconds
this.
the ball
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
You know what's
No,
going
well,
on.
he just does.
You
Okay,
be
so
yourself.
the point is, Sean McVay, he's a sharp young coach, obviously, and
Definitely is.
a brilliant young offensive mind.
Yep.
And is there any coach that Bill Belichick out there would rather lose to any more than like this would be the guy, if you have to choose somebody to beat you in the Super Bowl, wouldn't it be your guy Sean McVay or maybe Kyle Shanahan? That would take some of the sting out of it because the guy you love, the guy you have supported all year beat you in the Super Bowl. That wouldn't be so bad, right? So I'm just saying, be careful, be careful. Is there not a sabotage alert going on here? Just an alert. I'm just alerting everybody. Watch carefully.
He's texting.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Is it possible?
Not
I'm just throwing this out. Is it possible that Belichick would decide to play some schemes that he thought Sean McVay could take advantage of?
No,
I don't know.
no.
I don't know.
No, you do
I don't
know.
Well, how can you not play Malcolm Butler in a game in which the backup quarterback for the Eagles throws for, 373?
But you said he's not a backup.
Put up 41 points?
You said he's not a backup. You said he should start.
Well,
you said he's better than
he was
walking
still the backup at that point.
Now he'll back up again.
Well, he was then.
He is now.
Okay. Well, okay. Now he's walking. He's not walking to him. He's walk out. He's all walk it out of town.
He's
folks.
texting congratulations.
Yep.
Oh, man, you guys look great. He's not texting game plan.
No, he's not doing that.
Okay,
but I'm
well,
just saying, again, does he have a fondness for Sean McVay? Sure he does.
Yeah.
Okay? So would it tear him apart to lose to Sean McVay?
All of these guys are young enough to be his sons.
Yeah.
So he's taking a liking to them.
Yeah.
Unlike somebody else we know.
Okay, but there's some coaches that Belichick doesn't have any use for. I don't think he has a great amount of respect for Doug Peterson from what they exchanged on the field.
Yeah.
So did he want to beat him? You would think so, but again, did he want Tom Brady to win another Super Bowl? Well,
yes.
Apparently not.
Skip
because
Bayless.
Tom threw for 505 and it still wasn't enough.
You do know when Tom wins, Coach Belichick wins.
Well,
Coach Belichick loses, Tom loses. They go hand in
Coach
hand.
Belichick's already got 5, so maybe he thinks he's got enough. I don't know.
What about Tom Brady?
Well, he doesn't have enough.
Well, here's the thing. Coach Belichick gets 6. He ties Coach Hallis and Coach Lombardi with the most titles, 6. I think that's what he wants on his resume. And I don't think he's satisfied with 6. I think he wants 7, 8.
What happened at the trade deadline 2 deadlines ago? He got overruled. For the first time in his coaching life, he got overruled.
And that pick that they traded Brandon Cooks for turned out to be Sony Michel. You like that?
Was it Michelle or was it Isaiah Wynn?
No, 32nd.
Was it the second one? Okay.
30, was it 31st or 32nd?
No.
31st.
Okay.
Because what you call them, they traded back in and got Sony Michel. You like that pick, Skip? You like Sony Michel?
He's a nice back.
Nice back, huh?
I mean, he's not Todd Gurley. I don't think he's C.J. Anderson.
He's the first running back since Terrell Davis to have 3 rushing touchdowns in a playoff.
It's impressive.
Could I use that?
I don't like running back touchdowns. They're just gifts. They're just like little touchdowns.
What about that?
Emmitt Smith scored all these touchdowns. I'm like, I don't care.
What about that
1-yard touchdowns? What does it matter?
What about that 115 yards a game he's rushing?
Yeah.
That
No,
keeps
he's
time
been
of
good.
possession
He's been
in your
good.
favor. Because you said Tom Brady plays.
Who's better, Todd Gurley or Sony Michel? Help me
stop,
out.
Bayless.
Help me
Stop.
out. Help me out.
You know who's better.
Who would you take right now, C.J. Anderson or Sony Michel? You take C.J. You just would.
Yeah. For their offense. You just can't.
He's a nice back. I don't think he's transcendent. I'm not sure he's ever going to make a Pro Bowl. I'm not sure of that.
How many running backs outside
know,
of Corey
it's hard.
made a Pro Bowl?
It's hard.
No, that's not what they do.
Yeah.
But they're plenty good. Julian Edelman probably never going to make a Pro Bowl. But he plenty damn good.
All I know for sure is I don't want to see Stephon Gilmore benched for the Super Bowl. That's what I want to do. If that happens, I'm out,
up.
man.
You're
I'm
done?
completely out. I'm
well
turning the game off.
You know good well that man ain't benching no Stephon Gilmore.
Well, he did the equivalent of that last year.
No.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure Coach Belichick has his reasons. I'm sure he explained those reasons to Mr. Kraft.
He didn't explain it to anybody else.
No, he didn't have to. Mr. Kraft said, you report to me, not to the fans, and definitely not to Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Because whatever you tell Skip Bayless is not going to be good enough.
Then Tennessee said, you don't want him? We'll take him, and we'll give him a whole bunch of money.
And they benched him.
Yeah, for a little while. And then he came around, and he was looking like a Pro Bowl player.
Okay.
Last 8 games.
So let's just temper down now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not letting it
Don't
temper
know.
What? Skip, let it
Get
go.
going here.
Let it go?
Yes.
I'm gearing up, man. I'm on high alert. My antenna are all the way up.
say.
You're worse than the Saints.
Yeah.
At some point in time, you got to let it go.
No.
At what point do you let something go that you cannot change?
It's hard to forget.
Well, I don't think Belichick's let go of his relationship with Sean McVay. And by the way, do you think Belichick wanted that out there? I think Sean
that's
just
a good
blurted
point.
that one out.
Probably
right?
not.
He probably didn't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's an interesting dynamic to the relationship,
Yeah.
and I can't imagine he's texting everyone.
No, because we don't like everyone.
Yeah, text you, though. I know that.
Yeah, I like Coach Belichick.
Yeah, I realize
The
that.
inside scoop
Yeah.
over there.
You're a good man.
We're going back to LeBron. I don't know if Shannon has any insight here, but did he announce yesterday that he'll finally be back on the court?
Maybe.
We'll discuss next.
Maybe.
No mercy.
LeBron has missed the Lakers' last 16 games, but it appears that he is close to returning. He posted this shirtless pic yesterday on Instagram. I liked it. With the caption, almost that time again. I've missed you so damn much. Hashtag been a caged, angry lion. Shannon,
Ripped up.
what do you
Ripped
read
up?
into this picture, this post?
Wait a second. Ripped up?
He ripped up.
He looks like he's been eating some Twinkies while he's been out.
Ripped up.
Huh? He's
That's
got a little
Twinkies.
excess.
That's 6'9", 250.
Huh?
Shredded.
It didn't look the same.
Like a Trump
He's
tax
carrying a
return.
little
Ripped
extra.
up.
Whew.
It's like he was wearing an extra
Hater.
belt.
You know what, Skip?
Well,
You
he does.
understand.
It
Skip,
wasn't-
that's 6'9",
You really
250.
thought that?
Yes.
That was your reaction? I didn't think that
Yeah, I
at
didn't think
all.
that. I didn't think that.
No, I mean, he's been so sleek and svelte.
No, that was you talking about getting skinny.
He's got some excess stomach baggage
no,
going
no,
on
no,
there.
excess
Yeah, he
nothing.
does.
Stop
he
hating.
does.
Good.
Yeah.
Shannon, what'd you make of the pic?
I believe he's close to getting back.
Close?
Yep. Close.
We're
Guys,
close.
how long do we have to wait?
We're close.
Okay. How about this?
But Shannon says we're close.
How about this? Okay, how about this? After the Super Bowl.
After the
After the
Super
Super Bowl,
Bowl?
we back.
After the Super Bowl.
Tuesday after the Super Bowl, we back.
Tuesday
You have
after the
changed
Super
your
Bowl?
day.
Tuesday.
Wait,
Sky sauna.
you keep pushing your timetable back like on the every day we push it
Agreed.
back another game.
Scouts honor.
Scouts
He'll be back
honor?
after the Super Bowl.
Really? Wait, that's
You're
not
doing
Scouts
this.
honor.
Yeah. Oh, my man. You saw that, Jenny?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Skip, he said I'm been caged up. Skip, look, in all seriousness, LeBron James loves the game of basketball. He loves to play the game of basketball. This is the first time that he suffered an injury that's kept him down for a significant amount of time. And when you're used to doing something, the adage is that you don't really miss something until you can't do it. You don't realize how important it is to have certain things until someone takes them away. Now, all of a sudden, the man has been doing something his whole life.
All right.
Has it taken away from him.
I buy that.
And then for the first 2 weeks, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't even shoot the basketball because it was real tender. And then all of a sudden, he went from not shooting not doing anything to all of a sudden he got on the stationary bike. And then he started getting up shots. And then the last week it was reported that he went through physical contact. So there's a process and steps that you have to take in order to get back. And he's like, man, this thing, I'm caged up. I've been waiting for this moment. I'm not ready yet. That thing, Jenny, you cook something, every once in a while, you got a nice pot. My grandma used to have that nice pot, Skip, and she stick that spoon in there and baby, it ain't
Not
quite
ready.
He said, baby, it ain't quite ready yet, baby. It ain't, I said, all right, ready, let it stew a little while longer. I will let
A long time.
Bron, let it stew a little while. He ain't ready yet, Skip.
Just marinate.
Yeah, he ain't ready yet. Skip, you ever heard that song? God is not through with me yet. He said, but when he gets through with it, when LeBron James get through with this injury, boy, they in a heap of trouble.
Really?
They in a heap of trouble.
Who's they?
The Western Conference.
Oh, West?
The Western Conference.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
The Warriors are in a heap of trouble.
No. See, we ain't talking about this.
Okay.
We talking about from 2 down.
Oh,
we ain't talking about from.
All right.
We talking about 1.
They
2
don't
down.
look like they're in any trouble.
No. We get Anthony Davis. We get Anthony Davis, Skip. We're gonna rattle some
I
cages.
don't know about that.
Oh, you don't think so?
So, How'd it go?
A caged lion.
Angry lion.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of redundant? Because if you're a caged lion, aren't you already angry?
No,
I would think.
It all depends on how much, you give me a couple of slabs of them old steaks and I might be okay with it.
Really?
Yep.
On December the 26th, LeBron James tweeted, he
You know
didn't
what's
post
good?
on Instagram, but he tweeted hashtag back in no time. So I wanted to see another hashtag yesterday, back in sometime, because it's just like sometime.
Yeah,
It could be
no,
any
you're
time.
right.
I don't know.
Anytime.
It could be
Back
anytime.
anytime.
Right. Back anytime. Maybe I wanted to see hashtag back after the break, as in the All-Star break,
No,
because
no.
it's starting to feel like
Bowl.
he might just wait.
No, Skip. We got to be there.
Okay, why would you even do this? Why would you push it? You've come this far, so you've got 2 home games. So you're saying he's going to miss the 2 home games, Philly tonight,
Yep.
Clippers Thursday night, right?
Yep.
By the way, the Clippers really stunk it up at their home, away from home.
Against Atlanta.
Yeah, against Atlanta, that was bad. So I thought, well, maybe LeBron will try the Clippers because they're struggling a little bit right now because they didn't take Atlanta seriously, and that was a big mistake last night. But then all of a sudden, it goes road, 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 and the road gets harder. It goes at Golden State, at Indiana. I know they don't have Old Depot, but it's not easy. Then at Boston, at Philly, and then at Atlanta, who suddenly won 4 of its last 8. So it's like 4-4 in its last 8. So it's not bad. They're dangerous.
Yeah.
So do you really want to inflict that upon yourself
Yep.
with a still, shaky groin?
It ain't shaky.
It
So
isn't?
when we come back, we're going to be 100%.
100%.
Yep. So we'll see you after the Super Bowl.
So why wouldn't he just say, okay, I've come this far, and then I can take a whole nother break, and I don't have to play a game until February 21st. He could get 2 months off.
Adam Silver, that would not be good. We're the leading vote getter. We're the captain. How's that going to look?
The All-Star game will be just fine without LeBron.
No.
There are enough stars out there.
No,
It'll be just fine.
no.
He can make an appearance. He can help coach.
We're going to make more than an appearance. We're going to play.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, Skip Bayless, he's going to come back after the Super Bowl. Yep.
Back in sometime.
No, he's February 5th, Indiana. Don't you?
Hashtag.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want him? Would you have preferred him come back injured again and be gone 8 weeks?
No, no, he had his MRI and he tweeted, the first line of the tweet was, dodged a bullet.
He did.
He did?
Yeah.
Sounds like it hit him right in the thigh. No? Well, it did. I don't know. It just sounds odd to me. This is getting weirder by
He
the day.
didn't tear it off the bone. What if he had torn it off the bone? That's the bullet he dodged. He didn't completely rip it.
Well, did he just need a break? That's
No.
okay. Just accept it.
No.
Own it.
No, he didn't
Own
need
the
a
break. I'm fine with it.
He
if
didn't,
that's what
he
you
don't
want.
need a break, Skip
Yeah.
Bayless. You see what the Skip?
Is he waiting for AD? And then they can come back together, right?
You saw
Would
it.
that not be a night at Staples?
interesting.
Whew.
You saw what he was doing.
What if we don't see LeBron until February 21st, and that night, I don't even know who they play. I didn't look at it. but
Houston.
Houston. Okay. It's at home.
Home.
Oh,
game.
whew, you'd be there
Not
for
a
that
bad
one.
game.
We're not
You
going-
said you'd
Huh?
go.
Yeah. No, we're gonna
LeBron
February
and AD on February 21st.
Tuesday.
Whew.
Tuesday, February 5th.
I'd go to that game.
Tuesday, February 5th.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tuesday, February 5th. How do you know? Or is he giving you
I'm
bad information?
I'm speculating.
Oh, you're speculating. I thought you spoke
I think a week.
constantly.
I think another week. That thing will be really, really 100,000%, and he'd be good to go. Suffer no setbacks. Go on the streak.
Now you're just guessing.
No, he'll be about 30.
Right.
I got a feeling the last 28 games, he'll probably be something like 32, 10, and 8.
Well, the one team ahead of him crumbled last night, so maybe he just said, I'll take another couple of games.
We are going to walk all of those teams that's
Yeah.
in front of us, except I don't think we're gonna catch the Nuggets and Golden State.
Nope.
But them other 5, oh, they got
Spurs?
Spurs, Clippers, Thunder, Portland, Utah. You're gonna get got.
Who's the number 1 three-point shooting team in the NBA? Could it be the San Antonio Spurs? Who's the best three-point shooter in the NBA individually? Could it be Davis Bertans? Davis Bertans. It is.
So?
It is. So you're going to walk them down?
Walk.
Huh.
Okay, what part about that you get?
I don't know. You might have to start running to catch them.
We ain't gotta run.
Yeah.
Just slow walk them. All we just get, we're 4 games out of the 3, 4 or 5 games out of the 3 slot.
Yeah.
A good week of basketball. A solid 2 weeks. We're in the front. They in the back.
Maybe you should start doing a little more cardio, but I don't know, just a little more.
Eat
Maybe you
fine.
could get on the bike again. It's good.
what?
The bike doesn't hurt anything. Trust me.
Oh,
it
you trying to
doesn't.
say LeBron?
Yeah.
Hold on. You gonna get on LeBron after what you saw Tom Brady lugging around at the beach?
Different game.
Ain't no different game.
Different game.
Different bodies.
Different skill
Different
set.
bodies. Yeah, you saw that.
What have you always told me
He
about
taking his dad bod
you
too
play-
far.
What have you told me about quarterbacks you played with? Nobody has a good body.
I get
Give me a quarterback who does have a good body.
Jenny.
Yeah, who has a good
I
bod?
get the dad bod, but
Yeah.
the granddad bod is there where he loses me.
Yep.
Cam Newton.
Granddad yet. Okay,
Cam's got a good body.
Yeah.
Good point.
I would agree.
Hold on, what about your guy, Dak? Dak ain't got no good body?
He's got a little stuff going on.
A little
because
stuff?
He
What?
needs it.
What? And what he
needs
need it for?
Like Tony Romo played chunky because it's like extra padding.
Oh,
no,
that what it-
seriously,
that what it was?
I'm serious.
That what it was?
Yeah.
That what it was?
Extra padding.
So what does Dak need that for?
Does LeBron play quarterback?
No.
I like this game. Let's keep playing. Who else has a good bod?
Oh,
I know we know who don't. I think we could agree on that, can't we, Jenny? We know who don't. Don't we, Skip?
Oh.
he's got pliability.
Yeah.
All right.
With all
Either
that,
way.
got no muscle.
I don't know if this guy, Nickel Roby-Coleman, is ripping Tom Brady's bod, but he has been ripping his age. And now he's taking it back. We're going to discuss everything with Greg Jennings. Maybe not the body part, but next.
No mercy.
Rams cornerback Nickel Roby-Coleman has already given Tom Brady some bulletin board material. Roby-Coleman said earlier this week about the 41-year-old QB, quote, age has definitely taken a toll. I think that he's definitely not the same quarterback he was. Last night, Roby-Coleman said he was taken out of context. And, of course, Brady was asked about it, but he didn't want to talk about it. Take a listen.
I don't know. I don't know much to add.
Tom Brady's a great quarterback. I wasn't trying to say nothing bad about him. I respect him as the GOAT. He is the legend, and I think words just got misconstrued and got taken out of context.
Joined by Rams GM Les Snead. How did he do? That's definitely an A. Great recovery. That's in the manual.
All right, we're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Good morning. We're going to get your take on this in a bit, but first, Shannon, what do you make of Roby-Coleman's backtrack?
Just own it. You said it.
You did say
And
it.
there's a lot of truth into what you said. You know, look, whether he said a little bit or not, the Eagles didn't say anything last year, and he threw for 505 against them. So this notion that, now all of a sudden he's going to be highly motivated. Greg, you know guys are taking shots where they say this or that or whatever. When you're running around, you're not thinking about what that guy said.
No.
When I'm in the game, I'm not worried about what you said. Now, once the game's over, I'm like, I heard everything you said. Now, Roby-Coleman, Brady did show signs of his age. Against the Buffalo Bills, he had 126 yards and 2 interceptions. Against the Lions, he had 133 yards and 1 interception, scored 10 points. He had another 10 points against the Titans on 51% completion, 21 of 41. So there were signs, and that's what I think what Coleman was trying to allude to. But, just own that. Yeah, I said it. There have been times, if you watch the tape, which we have, we watched all 16 regular season games. We watched his 2 postseason games, and we watched games from last year. There are throws that Tom Brady would never, ever miss that occasionally he does miss, and that comes with age. It's this notion that everybody else ages, but Tom Brady doesn't is a lie. Now,
Really? How old did he look against the Chargers and the Chiefs? I'm just asking.
I mean, considering that the Chiefs in the last 25 years have won 2 home playoff games. It's not as great a feat as you might think.
What did the great Shannon Sharpe predict? Shannon Sharpe predicted the Chargers. He predicted the Chiefs.
All I'm saying is winning in Kansas City when they've only won 2 playoff games in the last 25 years, kind of like your Cowboys.
Wait, new quarterback.
Got like your
Patrick
Cowboys.
Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Mahomes.
All I'm saying
Invincible.
is Skip, Roby-Coleman.
MVP.
Roby, you said it.
Yeah.
Just own it. Don't backtrack. I'm not trying to. Tom Brady is who he is. He's accomplished what he's accomplished. But there are some throws that he left on the table. There are some plays that as we start to age, Greg can attest to this, some of the lateral, as a receiver, some of your lateral quickness. Most guys can continue to run full speed. But what slows is the lateral quickness, that be able to get sideways and then get up the field. It's when that guy's sitting right there in that chair in front of you that you struggle. Now, if he's just going to let you run scot-free, Coleman, just own it. Don't backtrack. Oh, I wasn't trying to say anything. Tom Brady to go. Don't miss me with all that. I hate when people do that. Oh, that's not what I meant. It was misconstrued. I was taken out of context. You know, got to worry about O'Shea Sharpe. Because I mean what I say, and I say what I mean.
Really?
It's good to know.
Shoulder.
Well, for me, I agree. There's players that I believe have to own it, but he's not one of those.
You don't want him to own it?
No. He's not one. He's not Marcus Peters. He's not Aqib Talib. He's not Aaron Donald. He's not one of those.
Well, he shouldn't have said anything to begin with.
Is my point exactly. So I need you to backtrack. I need you to make this right, boss. Like Leslie said, how was that? That was A+. Way to put out what you really want to say or what we've been telling you to say all week leading up to this game. When you're playing a guy like Tom Brady, we understand what he is. We know how you feel as players. We know we feel a certain way, but we can't say everything we feel.
Right.
And so in this instance, in this game, and you haven't been there before, I need you to approach it with very soft feet. Absolutely. Absolutely. I need to know that you're locked in, because one thing I know about, and I'll defend him a little bit, one thing I know about being in the locker room and being interviewed and saying things, they will ask you questions. You will give a long and extensive answer, Skip, and if it's not intriguing, they're not going to use that.
Right.
But if you say something that they can this going to get some traction.
It's hard.
They're going to put that out there. So you're not being misconstrued. But they're putting out the narrative that they want. But you said it. It came out of your mouth. So I can utilize that. And that's what happened. He has to be more mindful of that. Going into these situations, he can't do that.
At the end of yesterday's show, we talked about how Nickel Roby-Coleman had retweeted a tweet that I had just tweeted about the topic we were about to do. And that tweet started with Nickel Roby-Coleman, who's lucky to be in this Super Bowl because he is. He was the guy who could have been the GOAT, lowercase GOAT, of the previous game. As in, he would be the guy you'd blame forever for losing the game, right?
Yes.
He got off that hook thanks to 4 referees, all from Southern California.
Stop it.
Whatever. Yeah, I just had to throw that in. But,
Quickly get it in.
But he did retweet it, and I applauded the retweet because didn't that say I own it?
Yeah.
Like, I want everybody to see that Skip tweeted this, and I'm owning this, and I'm standing my ground on this.
Has he since deleted the tweet?
I didn't look. But the point is that I have seen cases, sometimes with the 90s Dallas Cowboys, when checks would get written that the team had to cash.
Yes.
Jimmy Johnson, it was classic. He called into a radio show the Friday before the NFC Championship game in after the 93 season, I believe it was. And he guaranteed victory over the visiting 49ers. And they just routed Steve Young and company because, as Nate Newton said after the game, he wrote a big check and we felt like we had to live up to it and cash it, right?
Cash it, yep.
So, but again, that was Nate Newton saying that, but it came from the mouth of your head coach.
Exactly.
Right? Your head coach.
Or one of your main players.
I did a lot of talking.
Yeah.
But me being all pro tight end, doing a lot of talking. Yeah.
But you're a Pro Bowl player.
Yes.
This is handle, his Twitter handle is Slot God, right? He's a slot corner.
No, no, hold on. You're not slot God. Stop it.
Well, I'm just saying.
Now, if this Chris Harris Jr.
No doubt
How
about
can you be slot God? It's like an oxymoron. You're in the slot, but you're a God.
Yeah.
You can't be in the slot and be a God,
and you
right?
don't start. Bro, you don't. It's not if they go double tight end, if they don't go 3 wides, you're not on the field.
Yeah.
Peters and Talib are the.
I agree. So I lost all respect because last night I took the time to read the whole Bleacher Report story, and he goes into specifics in his criticism of Brady's, where age has caught Tom Brady. You know, it definitely has taken a toll. All we have to do is stay connected, and he will slowly start to reveal himself. All kinds of specifics about movement, speed, velocity, arm strength. Well, don't tell me you're taken out of context.
Yeah,
don't
because
try
you
to
got
tell
very
me.
specific.
I would say. And he said, well, they were asking me what's the change from what I saw when I was a Buffalo Bill to now.
Right.
I don't see that.
Stop it.
Yeah,
no,
nobody asked you that.
No, you're just saying what you see right now.
Exactly.
And to your point, that's fine. I completely disagree with that. I've seen no signs of age this year, but I told you that consistently all year.
Yes.
But if you think that you see it, Own it.
That's it.
Live up to
Don't
it.
be putting on Michael Jackson at the Grammys in
thing
83.
is, when he was asked about the no call on the pass interference that we all identified as pass interference, he owned that. Yeah, I got there early.
He did.
Yeah.
But
Great. He owned it because when you come out on top and you look good in it or it benefits you, yeah, let's own it. Right now, to the point that you're making, Jimmy Johnson was the one who put that out there, who wrote that check. If Emmitt Smith had been the one to write that check, Michael Irvin or Troy, it would be completely different. Yeah. But somebody else, no, you can't.
You can't be the 25th guy trying to write a check.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So that's why I'm saying I don't mind him rephrasing, changing his entire tune.
Too late, I know.
Absolutely. I get that. I get that. And trust me, when Tom Brady is asked about it, I'm not going to comment. Because he doesn't care what he's resaid or how he's rephrased it. I know what you said. Yeah. I know how you felt. I whooped you in Buffalo.
That is correct. That's what he's thinking right now.
Absolutely.
He's not worried.
He appreciates it.
Yes.
Tom Brady's going to own it
Yeah.
because the damage has been done. And I remind you, once upon a time, it was a long time ago, it was during the 07 season. Remember when that kid from Pittsburgh, Smith, I think was his name, the safety?
They ran a flea flicker.
Virtually guaranteed victory going to Foxborough.
Yes.
And Tom Brady ran all the way to the end zone. I believe it was it to Randy Moss?
Yes.
I think it was.
They ran a flea flicker.
He ran all the way to the end zone to
Made it a point.
get in this guy's
Made it a point.
Yeah, way to go.
Well, that's what you got to do.
Okay.
That's what you got to do.
You know who I call that guy? That's the alter ego. You got Unc, he's got Psycho Tom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and
you got Psycho Tom. And sometimes Psycho Tom comes out and you're like, who is that guy?
Now, I had a problem with Roby Coleman admitting that he committed the foul. I was like, no, I thought I got there at the same time. Because guess what?
That is true.
Guess who the official's going to be looking at in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Any little ticky-tack thing, Roby
It's a
Coleman.
great point.
Man, I said, nah, I thought I got there on time. I thought I timed it up perfect.
Yep.
Boom, I'm leaving it there. I knew I arrived early. Well, I'm not saying,
Or
I'm
just,
not admitting
just
anything.
sort of no comment with, I guess they didn't see anything.
Right.
You know, like,
I think I got there on time. I thought I timed it up
Great.
perfect.
I never thought about that.
This
That's
is
a
just
great
an
I wish I
experience.
might.
It is. It really is. It's being. You're excited because you're getting to where every team in the National Football League has tried to get to this year, and you got to it because of a mishap. Really. And again, I'm not going to take it away from the Rams like that because they earned it up to so far.
Sure.
There were things that the New Orleans Saints could have done to prevent them from getting there. But yeah, I think it's just inexperience, being excited in the moment, and saying things that, man, you don't even have to open your mouth.
Greg, there have been times I've been in the locker room and we give them do it, and I'm talking to the guys, and you know everything is mofo, SOB, blah, blah, blah. I'm going on. And they ask me a question about a guy. Oh, man, he can play. Now, I just said, that's sorry, you know what? You know what I'm saying? But there's locker room talk.
Yes.
That we talk and Skip. You know how it is. We say one thing about one guy, and then when you get on camera, and they're like, dude, how'd you do that?
Listen to Aqib Talib. Do you not think he said everything that he should have said? Do we believe he feels 100% that way about Tom Brady? Oh, he's the GOAT. Oh, he hasn't lost us. He hasn't lost any. He may say that, but I guarantee you, to your point, when they're in that locker room, he's talking to Marcus Peters, he's talking to Nikhil. Man, look, I was over there. He's showing some signs.
I was in the locker room after they beat him in 2015, after they beat him in the AFC Championship game, and I know what was said. And I know who said they put something on Tom Brady's neck.
all I know is Roby Coleman's getting his 15 minutes right now. Isn't
He is.
You know what? I know what you want. You want Tom Brady to go at him and just throw like 10, 11.
Look, he's like a kid. I do. Yep.
It would be fun.
You want Julian Edelman to have like 11 catches for like $150 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I want to see 23 trailing him all day long.
And you go tweet, and you go be steady tweeting.
Shannon, you make a really interesting and intriguing point because I think the officials are going to be locked in on that matchup, and Edelman is not an easy cover.
No.
So,
especially on that surface.
Hands off now.
Whew, Greg, you're going to come back later in the show. We're happy to have you. And most of the bettors are putting their money on the Patriots, but is that good news or bad news? We'll discuss all that next.
no mercy.
Well, minutes after the Patriots won the AFC Championship game last weekend, influential odds maker BetCris put the Rams as 1.5-point favorites in the Super Bowl. Their head odds maker actually had the Rams rated 3.5 points better than New England, but he didn't want to make the line that high. Less than 20 minutes later, there were so many bets on the Patriots, the line had swung all the way to the Patriots as a 2.5-point favorite. And since last weekend, an overwhelming majority of the bets have still been placed on the Patriots. So, Shannon, that was a lot, but how do you explain this?
Because I believe they got the initial line wrong. It's hard for me to believe that someone would think that on a neutral site, New England would not be favored. Because we've not seen this in a very, very long time. When was the last time on a neutral field the New England Patriots were not the favorite? You'd have to go all the way back to their first Super Bowl in 2001 on a neutral field. Now, with that being said, Skip, I'm surprised that he would think that 3.5, considering that's Tom Brady, who we all, a lot of people believe that he's the GOAT. Okay, I won't debate that. Coach Belichick, we know what he represents. On the 46-man roster, they have 82 games of Super Bowl experience. Their 46-man roster, the Rams, they have 5. Tom Brady has more Super Bowl game experience than the entire roster of the LA Rams. So for me, Skip, it's just hard for me to believe that they would set a line given that the Patriots, they've been to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls. The Rams haven't been to a Super Bowl since 2001. And that you would think on a neutral field they would be favored by 3.5, even though you set the line, even 1.5.
Okay.
No, I believe they got it wrong to begin with, and I believe this was what the initial line should have been. 2.5, maybe even 3 points. So I was shocked because I remember calling Steve after the game, and I asked Steve Owens,
my former Heisman winner.
Yeah, my chief research.
Yep.
Yeah, he's head of research and development.
Your puppet master.
You know what, Skip, look. The type of
What did he tell you to say?
Steve Owens, who's chief research of Shannon Sharpe Development.
Okay.
I like, what's the line? He said the Rams by 1.5. I say, Rams 1.5? I'm like, who set this line? Lo and behold, he texted me back, it's Patriots by 2.5. I was like, oh, that's more like it. But I thought it was a misprint. He was like, no, because they betted so heavily in front of the Patriots. Skip, if you're going to give the Patriots points, who's not taking that? I mean, think about it now. You're giving the Patriots points. Somebody got the Patriots minus 1.5. So that's why I was surprised, Skip. I think the line initially was wrong. I think this line is more in line with what I thought it would be, 2.5, 3 points, because it's just hard for me to believe that someone would set a line in which the Patriots would be underdogs on a neutral field in a Super Bowl.
Interesting. Do you remember what happened in the second half at Foxborough when Patrick Mahomes and company visited on that Sunday night, mid-season, week 6, right?
Yes.
They scored Kansas City 31 points in the second half. Then in the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead, they had the ball, Kansas City did, for 3 minutes of the fourth quarter and scored 24 points. What does that tell you about Belichick's defense? It's torchable. It's flammable. This is the odds maker, the one that they all wait to see what he sets. What line does he set? I think BetCris is located in Costa Rica. So Vegas just sits back waiting for what line are they going to set. And his power ranking, his power rating told him to set it at the Rams as the favorites by 3.5 points. 3.5. Rams minus 3.5 points. And he thought, according to the ESPN article, he thought, I can't do that. Let's try 1.5. And then he sat, and in 17 minutes, he watches his computer screen go whoop the other way. And all of a sudden, the bettors have made it all the way to New England as the favorite by 2.5.
If they'd have put Atlanta at 3.5, they'd have bankrupt Vegas. Because so much money would have came in. You think they came in at 1.5. You set that line at the Patriots at minus 3.5. And you're going to get people coming in dropping them. You're going to get those whales.
I don't know about that.
Skip!
I listened to Tom Brady last night, and he made some strong points. He said they have the best D-line in pro football. Do they not?
He said the same thing about
Wait, hold on. We just opened this show with you telling me the best player in the Super Bowl is Aaron Donald.
He's one player.
Okay, but he is the player in the middle of that line. They have 4 players in that line, all drafted in the top 14 of the first round.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And Ebukam he's a stud, man. Every time I look up, he's making plays, and he doesn't even count in the starters, right?
You said the same thing about Kansas City.
And what did Brady also say? They have 2 of the best interceptors, meaning the 2 cornerbacks, in NFL history.
Yeah.
That's what Brady said last night. Is that true about Talib and Marcus Peters? It is true.
I don't know about NFL history, but they get
But
two guys
both
to get
of
their
them.
hands on the ball.
Hey,
Yeah.
do they not both? Are they not thieves in the night, man? I mean, they can get their hands on the football.
I think Peters takes far too many risks, and you have to be careful taking
But he has had big interceptions before.
Yeah, and he's had big.
Okay, I got it, but he wasn't lying when he said that. And he also threw in the fact their special teams have accounted for 5 other touchdowns. So your man, Young Fossil,
Yep,
John
John
Fossil, he does a really nice job.
Oh, he's great.
They take risks. They do smart things. They do clever, creative things. They got a young genius calling the plays. And what do they have at receiver? Are their receivers better than the Patriot receivers? Yes, you would say they are, right?
Yeah, as a whole, yeah.
Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods was their leading receiver in catches, yards, tied for the most touchdowns. But Brandon Cooks is their electric man. He can get deep on you, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the 2 tight ends combined. Gerald Everett is a stud to me. He's athletic and he can run. And Tyler Higbee, every time I look up, he's making a big catch because he's a big, huge body with good hands.
Right.
So the combination of those 2, I would take them over what's left of Gronkowski right now.
Right.
Okay, so now what? The offensive lines. They're awash because the Rams got a really good offensive. Have they been opening holes for CJ?
Yeah.
Like crazy?
Yeah.
Did they not gash my Cowboys, especially in the first half?
That's not
I've never
saying
seen
much.
anything. Well, it is saying a lot.
Did you see you guys?
Did you see what my Cowboys had just done to Seattle's #1 rushing attack? Remember that?
I see what your dad and see what you guys did in the Pro Bowl too. Scored 7 points.
Hey, well, what
so
does
your
that
offense,
matter?
because
It
your
was a
offense,
joke. It was a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke.
Okay?
Your offense is not that good.
What was a joke was that the Rams ran for 170 yards in the first half and 273 on a defensive front that had stymied the New Orleans Saints run game.
Where was your guy?
And Seattle's run game.
Where was DeMarcus Lawrence?
I don't know.
What about the Wolf Hunter?
It's a good question.
Wolf Hunter.
I saw the Wolf Hunter. He's in the Pro Bowl. That's
You
pretty
saw
good.
him with the Pro Bowl? I saw him on skates against the Rams.
Did you? Well,
did you
okay.
Did
All
you
right,
see
but
Chris
that has
Richard
a
on
lot to do with an offensive line of the Rams that's right there with the Patriots. Am I right?
Yes.
It's right there. Okay? So how about the running backs? Do you want Gurley and CJ or do you want Sony and Burkhead? Who would you take?
And James White.
Okay? And James White, but he just catches the ball more than he runs it.
But
he runs it here and there.
Yeah,
little,
exactly.
Little sneaky runs.
But see, that's
he's like 5'8".
Hey, it works for them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Skip, is that the Patriots don't have per se name guys at position. They don't have a Todd Gurley at running back, or they don't have Aaron Donald, and that's what makes Coach Belichick so amazing.
They had 1 Pro Bowler on defense, Stephon Gilmore. He is a stud. He is right there with Talib or Marcus.
Yeah.
He can play in their league.
But I was
Just 1. That's all you got.
I was surprised that it opened at 1.5. Hearing him talk, I was surprised.
Why would you be surprised? Because on paper, I'm serious. This looks like a mismatch on paper.
Well, they're on paper.
Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. It looks like a mismatch.
On paper, there have been times that on paper the Patriots should have looked like they should have lost. But you don't play the game on paper. If you're gonna base it on history and what it showed you, Skip, they don't be dogs. The Patriots are not normally dogs, especially at neutral site. This was one of the few times they've been a dog, even in the AFC Championship game. That's not normal for them, Skip.
So why is that? Why did this spread swing so wildly?
The bet came in on the Patriots.
It's real simple. You got to face the fact. Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady. Period. End of story.
Bet the
Period.
Patriots.
End of story.
They bet
That's
the
why.
Hold on.
It was the 41-year-old quarterback.
Wait a minute then. Wait a
Wow.
minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, Jenny. Hold on. You make my argument for me then.
Interesting.
So let me get. So when they set the line, the New England Patriots did not have Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady. So they didn't have him then, huh?
The smartest guy setting spreads said the Rams are clearly better on a neutral field than the Patriots. So he's saying Brady's not going to be able to cancel this advantage out. But all the bettors said I'm taking Brady. I'm taking Brady. They all want Brady.
Well, who you going with?
Leaped all over
who you going with?
Huh?
You going with the guy that sets the line, or you going with the better Skip Bayless?
I'm going number 12.
No. I want to know. You say those guys. Oh, you talking about this guy right here? You talking about Vegas sits back?
He is the guy.
Okay,
no, he is the guy.
Okay, then. So what's up?
Well, that's what happens to Brady right and left. Every time we look up, somebody like a Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe is saying he can't beat the Chargers.
Oh my God.
He can't beat the Chiefs, and he just did it back to back. How is that possible? That's why all those bettors said, we ain't messing with him. What do I always tell you? There's one man in sports you do not bet against, and that's what all the bettors said. Wade Phillips?
Yep. Really?
Let's talk about that later.
Well, the one guy that may get in Tom Brady's way, how about Aaron Donald? Is he the best player in the Super Bowl?
What?
Maybe Vegas is paying attention to him. Sean Merriman answers that question next.
No mercy.
Hey everyone, Jenny Taft here, and thank you for listening to the Undisputed podcast. If you like what you hear, then you should subscribe to the First Things First podcast featuring Chris Carter, Nick Wright, and Jenna Wolfe. The First Things First pod breaks down the biggest stories in the world of sports, so if you like the NFL, NBA, college sports, then you're going to like this podcast. The First Things First podcast. The First Things First podcast drops Monday through Friday with a special weekend edition as well. And be sure to catch the show live on TV before us every weekday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Now, back to our show.
No mercy.
Well, the consensus is Aaron Donald is the best among all the names in the Super Bowl. Both CBS and Pro Football Focus ranked every player in Sunday's game, and they both put Donald at the top of the list. Tom Brady can win his 6th championship on Sunday, and he was ranked 3rd by CBS and 2nd by Pro Football Focus. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Sean Merriman. Good to have you with us this morning. So, Sean, do you agree that Aaron Donald is the best player in the Super Bowl?
Yes. Yes, I mean, to me, it's not even close. I mean,
what? Now we got 2 of them?
No, to me, it's not even close because if you look at the way the playoffs been going for Tom Brady, he hasn't been getting touched. He's been getting rid of the ball. Nobody's been able to get close to him. He normally gets rid of the ball in about 2.5 seconds or less.
Playoffs 2.1.
Yeah,
2.1. As an outside linebacker or a pass rusher, right? You can't even get there in 2 seconds unless you come clean. Nobody blocks you. The only person that can get there or disrupt what Tom Brady is doing is the interior lineman because he has the closest and the fastest path to the quarterback.
Okay.
In this game, you don't have to get a sack against Tom Brady. You just need to stay in his face where he can't throw the ball on time or he has to throw over someone. That's all you need to do. You don't have to go out and get a sack. He just hasn't been touched, so that's why they've had so much success. So Aaron Donald is the only player who can disrupt what Tom Brady's doing in this game.
I told you, Skip. He said what I said. He said the exact same thing. He says Aaron Donald, and it's not even close because it's not. Aaron Donald is the most dominant player. He's more dominant at his position than any other player is at their position. And it doesn't matter. You wanted to go running back. You want to go wide receiver. You want to go tight ends, quarterback. Nah, it's him. He's it. Tom Brady, ask any general manager.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to.
No.
I'm going to take a poll.
Skip, did Tom Brady have the best quarterback year this year?
We're talking about going into the Super Bowl. Who do you want?
No,
Who do you want on your team?
No, that's not what it said.
Yes, it is.
It said the best
Who's
player.
the best player going to the Super Bowl? Are we here, right now, this week, today? Who is it? 32 would vote for Tom Brady. I'll take Tom Brady over your guy any day. Any day.
They graded 16 games and the playoffs, so 18 games. And they said the best player, not the most important, not the guy that plays the toughest position, not the guy that's most valuable, the best player on the Super Bowl 53 field Sunday will
Tom
be
Brady.
99
Yeah.
with the horn on his helmet.
99 with the horn on his helmet, has a grand total of 0 sacks in 2 playoff games and a grand total of 2 tackles and 2 tackles in those 2 playoff games. And I give you, he's an anchor. He is an immovable object in the middle of that line. He can hold that line. But as you well know, it's much easier to get to the quarterback, to me, off the edge. If you got an edge, if you got Von Miller, who was the last team to keep Tom Brady from going to the Super Bowl? It was your Denver Broncos in Denver. And what happened in that game? Von Miller was a banshee coming off the edge. 2.5 sacks, and he intercepted Tom Brady in that game. And he hurried him 4 other times.
But the guys,
he was unblockable.
The guys that made it possible was Malik Jackson and Derek Wolfe because they collapsed.
But the guy who closed the deal was that guy.
Because
I don't know if I've ever seen an edge rusher any hotter than Vaughn was through that period.
Oh, yeah, he was unbelievable.
And into the Cam Newton Super Bowl.
But see, what happened, Skip, is that when Malik and D. Wolfe collapsed the pocket, now Tom can't step and throw. So they're going to force him one way or another. Okay, you going to D-Ware or you going to Vaughn? Now, Vaughn, well, you see, he almost got the move that he pulled on Cam in the Super Bowl. He almost got Cam pulled it out. He almost got Tom pulled it out of his hand. But if you want to get the pressure, initiate pressure the quickest, he's in the 3 technique. Or he's in that shade. He's in the shade with the guard. So he's it.
Hey, Skip, you're talking about his stats. His stats won't matter this game. I promise you. He's not going to get Tom Brady 2 and 3 times, but he will.
The simulation, the Madden simulation, they picked the Rams, and they had your guy getting 4 sacks.
If you're able to get enough pressure where he can't step up into his throws and make these accurate passes, that's a win. That's an automatic win. And I don't, at that point, what's going to happen is he's going to get enough pressure where Tom Brady now has to move off his spot. Then that's when these outside linebackers, pass rushers on the outside of
Rockers and Fowler can get home. But wait
a second. You picked the Chargers, then you picked the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You're a Hall of Famer.
On paper, the Chargers did look better.
The Chargers had the best pass rush, right, that he'd faced all year.
Yes.
And then the Kansas City Chiefs had an even better pass rush because they led the league in sacks.
But Kansas City, if they don't get home, their back end isn't very good. Do you like Talib and Peters better? Do you like what Kansas City possessed in the back end? Because here's the thing. When you look at Aaron Donald, they're doubling him. But who showed their head? Now, Ndamukong Suh had 4.5 sacks in 16 games. In 2 games, he has 1.5. Why? Because team says 99 is not going to beat us. And we haven't seen enough on tape over Ndamukong Suh. And lo and behold, what happened? They singled him up in Dallas, and he went to he was pulling the Z. He was both hands. New Orleans tackle, they're playing in their backfield. If you do not, Aaron Donald is a guy, Skip Bayless, and I've been in a lot of offensive meeting rooms. Where is he? We're going to slide to him. We're going to chip him. We need to know where he is at all times, because if you don't account for him.
Right now, Wade Phillips is sweating bullets trying to figure out how to stop number 12. That's all this
He already knows how to stop him.
Down to
he don't need to sweat. What you sweating for?
Because Kansas City, that was what did you call it? A virtuoso performance.
It was.
So I'm going to say this one more time. You don't like to hear this, but I'm going to say it. So it's my turn now. The hardest position to play in all of sports is quarterback. The greatest quarterback ever is Tom Brady, who has never played better at quarterback than he did against the Chargers and the Chiefs. And against the Chiefs, he mostly, it was because of him, converted 13 of 19 third downs. That's 9 times passing the ball to control the ball and keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline 44 minutes to 21 minutes and overcome a Belichick torchable defense that in the fourth quarter that Kansas City had the ball 3 minutes and scored 24 points. This guy overcame that with artistry. It was a tour de force. It was a masterpiece of a game played at quarterback. It's so far beyond any impact that Aaron Donald can have on a football game. It's laughable. It's asinine, 10, 99. That's what this argument is.
Skip, why do you think they paid Aaron Donald? Why do you think
he is really good?
The reason why you get paid, what he got paid is because you can stop a guy like Tom Brady. That's the only reason. No other reason. Not
Von Miller,
not because you can stop the run, not because you can do anything.
The reason
coverage,
the New England Patriots are in the Super Bowl again is number 12, the quarterback. Aaron Donald is not the reason. He's a big reason, but he's not the reason that the Rams got to the Super Bowl. Because a big reason against my Cowboys in the divisional round playoff game was the offensive line dominated my defensive front to the tune of 273 yards
rushing. And what
rushing.
did the D-line do to your Cowboys offensive line? Dominated, and Zeke went nowhere.
Wait a second. In the second half, my Cowboys won 15-10. And if Jared Goff, let me finish. If Jared Goff had not run for a first down on 3rd and 7 on a bootleg with Sean Lee in the game, my quarterback would have had one last shot, and I think he would have pulled it off and tied the game. That's how close that game was, right?
But Skip, we talk about, look, when you go into a game, Sean, you can attest to this. You say, we're going to choke off the opposing team's run. We're going to make them one-dimensional. In 2 playoff games, did the Chargers or the Chiefs, did they stop the run? Well, if you don't stop the run and you allow Tom Brady to play action you and you can't get pressure on him.
You're doing cart before horse. The horse is Tom Brady throwing the football. That's what starts it off. Remember what happened against the Chargers? They won the toss, and I said, thank God, Belichick finally said, I'm going to take the football, and I'm going to let 12 take it. And he went bing, 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 throwing the football right down the field, converted 3 third downs in that first drive, and it was 7-0 Patriots, and they were off to the races against your Chargers.
And speaking of not stopping the run, and Tom Brady running play action, by the way, that's the only time he threw a ball over 8 yards in the first place.
That's not true.
So if you go out,
the throw to Philip Dorsett?
No,
that was over 8 yards.
The problem is if you don't stop the run, which I don't think anybody's seen in that game or believe that the Patriots will line up in 21 personnel, whatever it was, and run the ball between the tackles. I don't think nobody has seen that coming, but they did. They came out, they had some success doing it, and when that happened, it allowed Tom Brady and that defense line. See, the problem is when you can't stop the run, you don't know when the pass rush stop or go around. You're just confused. You can't get a real pass rush because you're afraid that they're going to keep gashing you with the run. And that's when they have some success throwing the ball. This is not going to happen in this game because I know Wade Phillips' philosophy. I understand how he thinks. He will make you beat him in other ways. He will get Tom Brady off of the spot. He's going to have Aaron Donald in Tom Brady's face, and he's going to have to either go, move right a little bit or move left in order to throw that football. But Tom Brady will not have a free release to do that this game.
Aaron Donald will be the MVP of this game?
He could possibly be, but no, I think the thing is, because here's the thing, Skip. When you play Tom Brady, although the quarterback's not on the field, you're actually going against Tom Brady because you're going to have to match him. Tom's going to make his plays. The really great ones, they're going to make their plays no matter how many times you hit them in the mouth, they're going to make their plays. It's just when they give you an opportunity to make your plays against them, you make sure you cash in.
So the Madden simulation says that Aaron Donald's going to have 4 sacks in the Super Bowl. You want to bet on it?
No,
I will give you 4 sacks.
I don't do no simulation.
4 cases of Diet
No,
Mountain Dew
I'm not
right
doing
now.
no simulation.
Will you take it?
No.
Why not?
Because.
Back up your argument.
Because.
Put your dew where your mouth is.
You don't play games in simulation. You play them on the field.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to tell you what, listen. He knows Wade Phillips. I know Wade Phillips really well. He was my defensive coordinator for 3 years. He was my head coach for 2.
He was his coordinator.
He's going to get him out the spot. Now, if he has to blitz him, because a lot of teams don't like to blitz up the middle because you give the edge and the quarterback a run. They're not worried about that with Tom Brady.
So you guys think the Rams are going to win this pretty easily?
Oh, my goodness.
Am I right?
Skip, all of them do.
I think Sean does.
I do believe that. It's hard to go against the Patriots, but in this case, because like you said, I played for Wade Phillips, and we were actually DMing last night over Twitter. He's happy. He's feeling good, and I know what he's going to do going into this game. Tom Brady will get moved off of the spot, and if the Patriots do win, I'm not saying they are going to win, but if they do win, it's going to be because Tom Brady has decided to move off of the spot, and Bill Belichick has coached the greatest game he's ever coached.
All right, Sean, you're going to come back a bit later to talk
more
more about
Wade
Phillips.
They might move the pocket.
You guys know him well, so this will be perfect.
Yes.
But first, Bill Belichick, is he actually helping Sean McVay? Let's talk about those two next.
No mercy.
Well, Bill Belichick, Sean McVay will square off in the Super Bowl, but we found out yesterday that they're texting buddies. McVay said they started talking at last year's NFL Combine, and Belichick texted him basically after every Rams game this season. He added, Belichick texted, quote, "Man, you guys are really explosive and impressive and fun to watch. Congratulations. Keep it rolling." So positive. We're joined once again by Greg Jennings, but I'm going to start with Skip on this one.
Thank you.
What do you make of all this?
As soon as I read this last night, I sat back and I said, here we go again. Why would Bill Belichick strike up this relationship with a hot young head coach with a team going into the year that everybody thought had a great shot at making it to the Super Bowl? And I thought, once again, I do not trust Bill Belichick.
Oh, my God.
I remind everyone at the trade deadline 2 deadlines back, Bill Belichick got overruled. He got ordered by Robert Kraft to trade the young quarterback he had groomed to be the next Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo. And what did he immediately do? He called his other young protege head coach, Kyle Shanahan. He loves him some Kyle because he loved him some Mike. And he said, have I got a deal for you? I'm going to give you Jimmy Garoppolo, who's going to be really good, for only a second-round draft pick. And Kyle and John Lynch were like, Really? You're going to give for just a 2? That's all we have to pay? We'll take that deal.
Right.
And I think he gave away Jimmy Garoppolo out of spite. And then we got to last year's Super Bowl, and what happened right on cue?
What happened?
Malcolm Butler, who played the most defensive snaps the whole year on the Patriots defense, played 0 defensive snaps in the Super Bowl. It was mysterious, it was inexplicable, and it was bottom line suspicious to me. And I told you, I invented a new word for it. It felt a little sabotagey to me because it felt like Bill Belichick out of spite saying, okay, you made me trade my quarterback. Watch what I'll do to you in the Super Bowl.
Stop it.
I won't play my best cornerback, and I'll let the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles torch my defense for 41 points, and we'll lose 41-33. Take that, Mr. Kraft.
Wentz might have threw for
right?
500.
Okay, so now he's befriended Sean McVay, and they're going up against each other in the Super Bowl, and it just makes me suspicious. Like, would it hurt him to lose to Sean McVay? Not really, because if there's one coach he could pick to lose to in the Super Bowl, he would probably be the guy that he now takes pride in helping grow as a head coach.
Losing in that
Am
game.
I right?
Losing in that
I
game
am
hurt.
right
No,
about that.
no,
Yes,
no.
I am right about
Losing in
this.
that game
and
hurts.
I am very suspicious. I'm waiting for the other cleat to drop here because I'm just waiting for, I don't know, Stephon Gilmore to get mysteriously benched before the game. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
And I just to finish this off, this is Malcolm Butler last year, the day after the Super Bowl, posted on Instagram. During Super Bowl week, I never attended any concert, missed curfew, or participated in any of the ridiculous activities being reported. Why were they being reported? Were they being leaked from the...
You know what, Skip, stop now.
And he said they're not only false, but they're hurtful to me and my family. And guess who liked that post was Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
He should.
Big old heart like.
Malcolm Butler saved his legacy with that in the end zone.
I don't think that's why
he should like anything Malcolm Butler do.
Yeah. So I am officially suspicious. My antenna are way up on this one.
Yeah, okay, antenna. Yeah. You make it seem as if he's texting Mike Tomlin, someone that's in the AFC, or Andy Reid. He's texting a young guy who's young enough to be his son, and he's texting him, bro, y'all looking good. Y'all got a good squad going to keep it going.
Maybe we'll see each other down the road.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it's a new era. I get it. Man, do you think Lombardi would have done this to what Coach Hallis and Tom Landry would have texted Don Shula? Absolutely not. It's a new way of thinking, Skip.
Really?
You can be friendly, you can be friends, and still be hell of a competitor.
Yes.
This notion that I got to hate you and it's got to be the Russians against the Americans every time we do battle, that's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. That is so utterly ridiculous. I don't know who thought of that, but it's ridiculous, first of all. Second of all, Skip Bayless, why do you make a mountain out of every anthill? It's nothing.
Was that an anthill that Malcolm Butler didn't play a snap?
That ain't got nothing to do with Malcolm Butler.
Wait a second. How did Bill Belichick get away with that? It's because he's the genius, and everybody said, well, I guess he's got a reason for this.
Well, the same reason.
Like what reason?
The same.
Seriously.
Well, had they won, we would have all been saying that. They're great
so
decisions.
Eric Rowe was a better matchup for the... Stop it.
Size-wise, I mean,
Greg,
we all were looking
Greg,
like possibly.
Do you remember when they played Seattle? Kyle Larrington. He inserted Malcolm Butler. Nobody said, I can't believe he did this to Kyle Larrington.
Okay,
Kyle
wait. That was pre-Jimmy Garoppolo trade deadline. All of a sudden, Belichick changed. He got his power taken away from him. Am I right? Who won that battle? Tom Brady won that battle.
I believe Coach Belichick will always, even though we might not agree with the moves that he makes or the decisions that he makes, I believe wholeheartedly that Coach Belichick will always do what's in the best interest of the team. And I believe he honestly felt that Eric Rowe gave them a better chance to win, especially against who, Skip? Alshon. The matchup, a big Eric Rowe, 6'3", 205, 210-pound corner against 6'3", 6'4" Alshon.
How'd that work out for you?
I think he thought the matchup would be better because of the support and the system that he has in place. I don't know if he thought – I do think he was trying to prove a point to Malcolm Butler. But when it comes to this, Skip, come on, man.
I said it the day after the game, and I'm not backing off.
it's just like a players' fraternity. There's a such thing as a coaching fraternity. And you have to understand, like, think about who Sean McVay is. He's one of the most authentic, likable young coaches in our league, in sports, where he is going to give respect and people are going to be willing to give him respect because he's so honorable. He's such a guy. When he came in last year on Sunday for one of the Sunday shows, he was so excited to be here talking about Michael Vick and how he watched it. He knew everything about me. He's just one of those guys.
So that's how he won you over.
No. It's his authenticity. Okay. And so do you not think when they first met or they first sat down and started talking at the NFL Combine, he wasn't praising Bill Belichick? That makes any man feel good. That makes any human being feel good.
It's like Skip Bayless always say, keep your enemies closer. Isn't that what you tell me what LeBron do? That's how he befriends everybody? So maybe
friends close, enemies
closer. So maybe.
He's keeping his enemy closer.
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, all I know is what did Spygate prove to us all? Beyond a shadow of a doubt, Bill Belichick has some scoundrel in him. Am I right?
But Bill Belichick.
Not to be trusted.
But here's the thing, though, Greg. If I'm not mistaken, the guy that benefited the most from Spygate wasn't Bill Belichick. He wasn't stealing.
Did he cheat? No, he didn't cheat.
Hold on. What did I say? I could have sworn. Hold on, Shannon. What did you just say? What? Repeat what you just said, Shannon. You want me to repeat again, Shannon? Yes, I do.
Oh, you're talking to your alter ego?
Yeah. The guy that benefited the most from Spygate wasn't Coach Belichick. Yeah. I'm just saying, Coach Belichick doesn't play quarterback.
Give me one valid reason for Malcolm Butler playing 0 snaps. If he'd played 10 snaps, you can't. You just can't.
I can't.
It was just wrong.
I'm with you there. I think that there should have been. He could have done and handled that differently.
Right.
But he was on his high horse. I don't think at all he felt like it was jeopardizing their opportunity to win.
I don't think he ever gave it a second thought.
No.
We're going to lose this game if I don't play Malcolm Butler.
Gave up 41 points. That's the genius Belichick.
Y'all go Belichick.
I'm watching closely this time. I'm seeing what schemes. I don't know. I'm watching substitution patterns. I'm seeing what's
you think his relationship or him texting Sean McVay is showing a sign of weakness or a sign of endearment to say, you know what? I wouldn't mind you winning. I wouldn't mind you beating me in the Super Bowl.
Then he can take some credit for his win, right?
If you don't mind.
Because he's his mentor.
So let me ask you a question. Hey, is there any people? Is there any people in this business that you text?
Text?
Yeah.
Few.
So what a minute! You sabotaging Skip and Shannon.
I don't compete against them.
That's a little sabotage.
That little sabotage.
I don't compete against them.
I noticed why I wasn't getting to my threshold of where I needed to be. You sabotaging us.
I don't sabotage. I just beat you every day.
You don't beat nothing.
Like I'm competing as you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're the guy I'm not going to text with, right? I'm not going to give away anything.
You don't.
Right?
You know what? I noticed
Although I text you to set you up.
Yeah, exactly. It's always
butter you up.
I always notice there's something. I'm like, I'm reading this. I'm like,
so
there's
that's
something to this.
Setting you up.
Yeah, I know.
Little sabotage you over
got to
here.
think second level here, third level, right?
Skip, will you stop?
I'm not going to
Coach
stop.
Belichick wants to win.
I am watching closely.
Coach Belichick wants
Something's
to win.
going on here.
Ain't nothing going on.
Do you think Bill Belichick wants Tom Brady to win another Super Bowl?
Yes.
Absolutely.
He does.
He on that sideline
gets
coaching
one
that.
too.
Exactly.
Skip, you can have more than one friend. You know what? I mean, Ernestine wants you to have more than one friend.
You're not intimidated?
Yeah, Ernestine says she's tired of being your only friend.
Really?
Either way.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I'm not sure Belichick was happy.
than you know.
all
And you
this
still in the
got out.
doghouse for that, what you pulled.
You have no idea
I
how
do.
deep that doghouse is. It's so deep, I'm in the dark in the back of the doghouse.
I can help you later.
about
I'll
what
give
are
you
you
some
doing?
ideas later.
My
Greg,
wife
thank
not
you
gonna
for
know.
being
She's
here.
like,
Let's
what are
stay
you
talking about Coach Belichick. Did he now take a shot at Wade Phillips before the Super Bowl? He has been busy. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Bill Belichick is preparing for his 9th Super Bowl as Patriots head coach, but he still had time to give props to Rams defensive coordinator Wade Phillips before New England headed to Atlanta. Belichick said his own schemes have changed over the last 30 years, but Phillips haven't. He added, quote, "The system has lasted. I have a ton of respect for what he's done and how he's done it over every different kind of offense you can see." So Sean Merriman and Shannon both played for Wade Phillips. Shannon, I'm going to let you start with this one. What do those comments from Belichick tell you?
He's right. He's absolutely right. If you go back to Coach Belichick, Coach Belichick is a 3-4 defensive coordinator, cover 2, very, very little pressure. He's not willing normally to take the safety out of the middle of the field. Wade Phillips has always had pass rushers, Skip. A lot of people don't know. Wade goes back to New Orleans when they had Ricky Jackson, Pat Swillings, Sam Mills, Von Johnson.
Yep.
Then he goes to Philly, Reggie White, Jerome J. Boogie Brown, Clyde Simmons, rushers, Buffalo, Bruce Smith, Bryce Pop. He goes to Denver, Von Miller,
Yes.
D. So he's always had pass rushers.
This guy.
And, yeah, exactly. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
So he's always had guys to go get after the quarterback, with the exception of
With J.J. Watt, too.
J.J. Exactly. So he's a pressure guy.
Yep.
Coach Belichick, with the exception, he's had a few, but not to the extent that Wade had. Now, LT, that's a whole different argument. But the way they played back then, Skip, Coach Belichick was a cover 2.
Yep.
I'm gonna play cover 2. I don't believe you. I'm not gonna give you anything cheap or deep. But what we've seen lately, he's branched out. He's gone to a little bit more four down lineman. He will come with a single high safety. He will come with 0 blitz on you. That's not Coach Belichick. We know Wade Phillips has always been pressure. And he always will be pressure because he has guys that can go get after the quarterback. When you have an Aaron Donald, when you have a Reggie and a Bruce and all these guys, Sean Merriman, you let them do what they do. Go get the quarterback. We're going to heat him up. We're going to make the ball come out quick, and good things normally happen. Yeah, you're going to give up a few plays.
So would you conclude that Wade Phillips has had Tom Brady's number?
I wouldn't say he's had, when you got the rushers that he's had. If you look at what he's had now, Skip, when you got 2 guys in Von, D. Ware's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and Vaughn is on the Hall of Fame level.
He is.
And they had guys in the middle that could collapse the pocket and sit the pocket in his lap so he can't step up. Tom Brady really, Skip, he wants to stay in that area. He wants to stay in that 10 by 9, 10 feet, 9 yards deep. That's all he wants to do. Well, Malik and D. Wolf was putting their offensive lineman in his lap. So now he can't step. He has to slide right to Vaughn, or he has to slide right to D. Ware. So Wade is like, this is who I am. I'm a 3-4 guy, but I'm going to heat you up. I'm not dropping my best guys. Occasionally, he'll drop Sean Merriman to the hook flat. He'll drop Vaughn or D. Ware to the hook flat.
Just keep everybody honest.
But just to let you know, I ain't blitzing him every time. But 90% of the time, he's wanting Sean Merriman to put his helmet in your chin.
My rookie year when I came in, and I missed a few weeks of training camp because we had a contract dispute.
Which year was this?
It was 2005. I came in, so, I didn't understand the playbook. It was just moving too fast, and by the 3rd or 4th practice, I said, Coach, man, I can't pick it up. This is Wade Phillips. I said, Coach, I can't pick it up. Him and along with a few other coaches, they took me in the meeting room, and they all circled around me and said, Sean, we're going to line you up, but after that, I want you to see ball, go ball. I said, Coach, what you mean by that? He said, we're going to line you up. We're going to tell you which side to go on. And after that, we want you to get after the quarterback and go make a play. Wade Phillips has always done exactly what he needed to do with his best players. If you do something extremely well, you're going to do just that. And if you can't, you won't do it. He'll bring you off the field. He won't put you in a situation where
you can't succeed.
He wants you to win. Unlike some of these other coaches who are going to say, you know what, this is my scheme. I want you to do this because this is what we do best. Wade Phillips is the total opposite. If you can do this well, you're only going to be doing that. That's why I do believe early on in the season when he came in and Rams were struggling, playing a little bit, and their defense dropped back and they couldn't play the run, they were getting gashed some other places because they didn't have those outside linebackers. They didn't have those pass rushers dating back to some of the guys that you said back in the day, even back in the Bills, Cornelius Bennett and Bruce Smith. And fast forward to myself, and he had Sean Phillips on the opposite side. Well, you go and you take over the Rams where your star players in the interior, they're the interior D linemen.
Right.
You don't have anybody on the outside. So early on, he was trying to make the defense cater to the inside guys. They would run upfield, getting gashed and run. That's why they went out and got Dante Fowler, because they believed that we need somebody on the edge who, when these guys collapse the pocket, as you just said, they collapse the pocket on the inside, we need somebody who's capable of making a play on the outside.
And he made the play in the NFC Championship game in overtime.
Exactly.
Yeah. That year, 2005, a weird thing happened in week 4 because you went up to Foxborough. I don't know if you were playing that much at this point. Maybe you're still struggling.
Yeah.
But this is the aberration because Tom has met up against a Wade Phillips coach team 9 times. Tom is 6-3 in those 9 games. But this is the aberration because you guys won that game 41-17 at Foxborough. Brady and company had just gone to Pittsburgh and beaten a Steelers team that was on its way to winning the Super Bowl that year.
Okay.
So I don't know if they took you lightly or they were a little bit like it was a little bit of a letdown, but you guys just ran them off their own field, and it got all the way down to Brady got replaced late by Matt Castle, who threw a late pick 6 that got it all the way to 41-17. Do you remember the game?
I do. I didn't start to game 8, to
Right.
game 7, 8 in the middle of the season. I think, and we still had Drew Brees there in 2005.
It was a Drew
as well.
Brees game.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was the one where Brady was kind of hapless in this game. He had a long, hard game. Drew was pretty good in this.
And that's what you do. You cater to what, and people don't realize the pass rushers that Wade has encountered in his defensive, as being a defensive coordinator, as head coaches. So these guys, I mean, what are you going to do? Oh, Reggie, we just want you to catch. We just want you to play 2-gap and play down the man. No, get on the edge and go.
I'm with you.
And so that's what he does. He caters to what you do really well, and he says, go do it.
My bottom line to this game, it's a matchup between Wade Phillips and Tom Brady. And if I could pick any coordinators to go up against Brady in a Super Bowl, I would pick Rex Ryan or Wade Phillips.
And what do they both do? Pressure.
They go after the quarterback
Pressure.
because both have had some success against Tom Brady.
Because a lot of what
right?
Wade's philosophy is very simple. Wade's like, when you get to Tom Brady, you get to Peyton Manning, you get these guys to see everything, it's about out executing them. Can you do what you do better than what they do? Now, they're going to disguise it. Now, they're just not going to just line up, okay, it's too deep, or it's 20, it's cover 5, 22 man. No, we're going to disguise it a little bit. But look here, Aaron Donald and Dominican Suh, Fowler, Brockers, you got to go get home. Now, occasionally,
Ebukam.
Now, occasionally, Skip, they're gonna blitz a guy because they're gonna keep you honest. They don't think think they're just gonna come straight for a man. Oh yeah, he gonna bring some pressure. He gonna heat him up because you got to, Skip. If you give these quarterbacks are too good, and it's just like anything. If you give these great quarterbacks, the Breezes and these Breezes and the Tom Brady's, a steady diet of anything. It's just like with anything. They'll build up a tolerance to you, and they'll beat you.
So last night, they asked Wade, how did you pull off what you did in the AFC Championship game? It's the last time Brady was kept from the Super Bowl after the 2015 season. At Denver, it's 20-18, and Brady had a QBR of 37, which on a scale of 0 to 100, not very good. And what did Wade say? I had good corners, and I had Vaughn and DeMarcus. Okay. Well, that's how you do it. Because they had good corners. They had 3 good corners, right? Maybe 4 good corners.
Because they would take Harris and bump him inside on Edelman. And so now you got Roby outside, and then you got Talib.
And what was the other variable? There was no Dante Scarnecchia coaching the offensive line for the Patriots.
You got to, if to beat a Wade defense, you got to hold up against pressure.
You do.
Because he's going to come. He's bringing it.
This game can't come soon enough, right? That was really interesting from all you guys. Sean, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Speaking of Sunday, will it be Rob Gronkowski's last game ever? We'll discuss all that next.
No mercy.
And for our final topic of the day, Rob Gronkowski seemed very relaxed and loose at Super Bowl opening night, but he was vague when asked about the possibility of retirement. Gronk was asked if Sunday will be his last game and said, quote, I don't know. He added that he'll take about 2 weeks to decide on his future. So, Shannon, do you think this Sunday will be his last game?
I think it's his last game in New England. Now, whether or not it's his last game ever, I don't know. But it's going to be hard for me to see, Skip, because what's happening is that we're starting to see him miss more time and not have the dramatic impact that he normally has when he's in the ball game. He caught 47 balls this year for a little under 700 yards. But what's happening, Skip, is that as we get older, when we miss time game, injury that would keep us out of game, it's keeping us out 2 and 3 games. And he has yet to be able to play that full season, and it's a shame. He has almost $12 million cap hit, and they can get out of it with only $2 million worth of damage. I don't see a scenario unless he take a drastic pay cut that he's back in New England.
This is a little-known fact about Rob Gronkowski. He's still 29 years of age.
That's
he doesn't
true.
turn 30 until May 14th.
You forget.
What?
You forget.
Because I feel like he's 37.
You're right.
Because he acts 37.
Sometimes
he moves 37, right?
The injuries.
And his answer last night was, I'm just concentrating on trying to get my body ready for this one because I think it took 2 weeks after the AFC Championship game to get himself back to this point. So I don't see how he goes forward from here because I don't think Belichick will stand for this. I think Tom Brady intervened this past offseason and said, over my dead body, you will trade him or get rid of him. But he's going to count almost $12 million against the cap. So I don't see how they would do that.
And you get older, Skip, and you need more and more time to recover. And in football, when you play every week, Skip, it's hard for you to get that kind of time to recover.
And does he not have a personality that would sell in other forms of entertainment?
Yeah.
You know, like, can he do whatever he wants to do otherwise?
But here's the thing. That's rough on your body, too.
Yeah, I would just be careful.
I mean, if you think about it, wrestling is really...
Oh, wrestling, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you meant dancing.
I mean, it's dancing.
Oh, no.
Intense, too.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.